Welcome to Friday Night Live. I would say what number episode this is, but I don't remember.
Don't remember.
1, 2, 3, 4. Friday Night Live, episode 4. Hometown hero. For y'all that don't know, next to me is the one and only G. Scott.
What's going on? What's going on?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for stopping by. I mean, it's not like
Bobby?
I was gonna leave you alone till you did it if you said no anyway. But let me bring in my co-host. I want to thank her again for I reached out to her after the Rev one because the outfit one would have been a little hard because there were so many people up here, and then after the Rev Friday Night Live, that was, I don't even know what to. It was a shit show. But I was like, hey, I'm doing Edge next. You've known Edge for a long time, so I might as well bring you on because you're gonna know shit I don't, and you do this with your own show every week. You're good at it, so why not bring you into the fold?
Thank you. What's up,
Hold on, there we go. That's how I want it. Now we're here with young Gerald, as I like to call him. We're gonna get into all types of shit. I know. Maybe a lot of what he's been up to. He does have a treasure trove of music that he's been stacking up for about a year and a half now, 2 years.
About 2 years.
So we're gonna get into all the shits, and if you guys have any questions, hit the comments. If you need to call in, 619-760-7114. I was like, what is my phone number? So it's gonna be good. Where to begin? Young Gerald.
What's up? What's the word?
How far does music go back with you?
We'll say 20. What was it? 20. I keep saying 20. 2000 and probably 2007.
Okay.
About 15 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I started in high school with this group called the Authors. Well, actually, even further back than that.
Oh, I thought you were about to pull out a notepad. That, like he came very prepared for the night or some shit.
Nah, it started like 2007, I believe, when me and two of my other friends, it's like actually not, it might have been further back, 2000, we'll say 2005. Because when I first started making beats, we were coming back from a trip to Six Flags in the summer before my freshman year of high school. And two of my friends decided they wanted to try to rap and they needed somebody to make beats. And so, yeah, they was like, well, we gonna rap. We need you to make the beats. So I downloaded this cracked version of Fruity Loops. And
good old Fruity Loops.
Yeah, started learning how to make beats.
So that's where it started with you.
Yeah.
Like you started as a producer.
As a producer.
Now, like I said in the description of the show, Gary's son, before the show started, we're in the front eating and everything, and there was something like a movie coming on and said Gary's son or something like that. I was like, oh, it must be a movie about you. Born and raised in Gary.
Yeah. Glen Park, 49, West 49.
I know exactly where you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've always, you can't compare you to anybody from here.
Appreciate that.
Because your music that you've grown to make has been the total opposite of what we've come to know Gary music to be.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I kind of view Gary kind of like how I view Chicago.
Okay.
Where it's like, I feel like there's two sides of Chicago too, where you got kind of like the drill sound that a lot of people might know, and then you got that other side, which, yeah, like you got that. Even with the new school artists, like when I was coming up, as far as like the whole blog era, like you had your Keefs and your Dirks and G Herbo and all of them, but you also had like your Chance and Save Money and
Okay.
Rocky Fresh and that other side of And
But
I'm talking about like the new, but even going back further than that, like
when you started, like you said, you started around 2007.
Yeah.
I came in contact with you in 2009. Right, it's the earliest message that I found on Facebook was 2009, and I still think that we connected somehow through MySpace for the simple fact that the Facebook thread didn't really. There was no introduction, and the way that I know you, you're not just gonna throw a song in somebody's inbox and be like, "Listen to this." Like you'll have like a paragraph or two, like a proposal or some shit to appeal to you to listen to it in the first place.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because we have an inside thing.
Okay.
He sends me these songs, you know, he's never stopped, you know, from 2009 to now
He's still sending them.
he's sending them, and there's never been a song where I was like, that's trash.
Okay.
Like there's never been, like, the streak's intact. It's insane.
Undefeated.
And every time he sends that song, I wonder what's going through his head. Like, is this gonna be the one? Like, how is he gonna feel when I'm finally like, no, bro, that's not it.
Right.
Like, is it gonna crush that spirit? Because he's been built up so much by like the undefeated streak, you know. But he got a better record than Mayweather because he sent me way over. He sent me way over 50 songs through the years. Because you're talking about, you know, it's 2000, about to hit 2021.
Shit, I probably sent you 50 songs.
Oh wow.
This
year. I mean, I could count how many I have in my inbox.
This year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when the not to get off topic, but when we went into the shelter in place earlier this year, when everything was closed down, we stopped our Tuesday nights out and we started having quarantine parties at the house.
Okay, gotcha.
So young Gerald would arrive and he would drink. And the more he would drink, the more songs he would send me. So if he were to put out an album right now, I have all the songs that he would put on an album.
Oh wow. Wow.
The majority of them.
But 2009, back 2009, he sends me this song. I wish I would have known what it was. I'm gonna tonight when I get home, I'm gonna scroll back through everything again.
I want to know what it was.
And but he was when I heard that song, it was like I don't want to say a breath of fresh air because I don't want to sound cheesy and corny like that.
Okay.
But that's kind of what it was. Because my interaction with this scene out here, and like we pigeonhole it to a Gary scene, but it's a greater 2 and 9 scene now.
Yeah.
I mean, back when I started, it was a Gary scene. Like the only rappers that you knew of back then that weren't from Gary was really like Rick, you know,
that's it.
and then a couple people from East Chicago, you know, my boy Reed, rest in peace, Andrew Jones, Big B, some of the grind people, shit like that. But it was all gangster rap. It's always been gangster rap, you know, from Gatekeepers on, you know. So that was what was ingrained, you know, in my head that every Gary rapper was. Now, don't get me wrong. There was always, I mean, when he came along, he would have been categorized. Well, even still, well, I don't even categorize him as a rapper anymore.
Okay.
You know, he's more of a
artist.
He's a pop artist.
Artist. Absolutely.
Man.
It's.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
It's because of the melodies and shit.
Yeah.
Like we'll get to that later. But anyway, there wasn't very many backpack rappers that people cared about to talk about enough. You know what I mean? And then here comes young Gerald, and I had just moved back here.
Okay.
You know, I had been in Vegas since 2000. I come back out here, and I'm starting to get back in the scene. You know, and then boom, out, and I still want to know how we.
I want to say it was, now that you mentioned MySpace, I know for a fact that I was reaching out to a bunch of people, because I believe like this was like around the time I started was around the time that Fake Show had first started. I remember your site was up.
Yeah.
Because I was reaching out to a
bunch because it might have been it because 2007 and 2008 it was when Villain Radio was almost at its peak as a blog. Okay. I was writing for everybody else. I'd be Fake Shore would pick up my articles. I'd write, you know, Rap Radar, XXL, shit like that. But like we talked about on the show with Edge. But that may have been it. Because he sent me the message in it was early December,
Okay.
the Facebook message. I moved back from Vegas on my birthday, so November 13th of 2009.
Okay.
So I wasn't back more than a month before he hit the inbox on Facebook.
And a lot of that time was like me. I'm sitting there on MySpace a lot, pretty much like anybody in the area that was connected to.
Sorry, you say MySpace.
I mean, for real, like I was on MySpace.
Think about it. MySpace was dope. We got to have our music on there.
Yeah, that's
shit.
true. Yeah.
Music player. We got our top 8. Motherfuckers get mad if they weren't in your top 8.
So I was sitting there like, I'm new to the whole thing, so I'm just making beats and trying to get my beats off on different people. So
Pause.
Pause. But I was hitting up a bunch of the artists that I would see in the area, like online, just searching like Gary, Indiana, East Chicago, different stuff like that, trying to see who was on the little list that they had back on MySpace for the music artists. So I was reaching out to like all at No Tame, and that was like the first studio that I actually went to.
You know what? Like No Tame is like everybody's first studio. Like
Pretty much.
like anybody who's like, you know, I've seen so many people go through there in just the times that I'd be there, whether I'd be there with Fred or I'd be there with everybody. Like, okay. So we're right back. Hopefully that don't happen again. Everybody's probably like, what the fuck? But so No Tame, and like who were you in the beginning? Like what kind of music did G Scott make? I know you were different.
How can I describe it?
like when you started making beats, like who was your inspiration? Like what producers were you looking up to at the time, and shit like that? Like what artists? I mean, probably besides Kanye. I can see him being a real Kanye fanboy in 2007.
I definitely was, but producers in the beginning was like Timbaland, the Neptunes.
Okay.
The Runners at that time. Who else? Kanye, obviously.
You ain't like Dre? Dre was.
I mean, yeah, Dre, but I was listening to. I hadn't got that far. Like a lot of people that I know were listening to rap early on, like growing up.
Mm-hmm.
My parents wouldn't let me listen to rap till probably like till I got to maybe middle school.
Okay.
So it was like up until probably 5th or 6th grade. Everything was all gospel, oldies, jazz, anything my mom and dad were listening to. So when I got to maybe like McKinley in East Chicago, and then Westside Junior High School, that's when I kind of really got introduced to rap because everybody around me was listening to different stuff. So like I remember,
and it's funny that you just named those two schools because those are two schools I went to.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is.
I was born and raised in Chicago. Went to McKinley.
Okay.
Went to Westside for 7th grade. I was the only white male in the entire school.
I can see that.
And then I got kicked out. East Chicago Public School said, you cannot come back here.
Well, how you get kicked out?
I was a bad kid.
Was you?
Actually,
Bad kid.
you told me something.
But,
yeah.
But like, and it sucked because I got in trouble. Like my grandma worked for Pastrick for a long time. Like my family goes back deep into the city. My great uncle was fire chief for a long time. You know, my great grandfather was a councilman. Where the donut shop is now, and it used to be an AT&T building in that parking lot.
Okay.
There used to be a bar there back in the day that my great grandfather owned, and he actually got. They killed him in the bar. The guy that killed him, the patrons of the bar like chased him outside and took care of him outside. Type shit. Yeah, it's some crazy shit. I'm trying to think of the year. It was probably 54, 55, I think it happened. But yeah, so it's crazy you said that.
Yeah.
Who was your sixth grade teacher, you remember?
Sixth grade was, I believe, Miss Bartolomeo.
Okay.
She went by a different name at that time, but actually it's funny because my sixth grade teacher, when I moved to Maryville for high school, what class was that? Health class? My health class teacher, he ended up marrying my teacher from sixth grade.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But so it was a weird connection there. But yeah.
So you finish up at Westside.
Mm.
You go to Maryville High School.
Right.
Culture shock for you?
A little bit. It was a little different.
I only asked because after I got kicked out of Westside, my mom was tired of my shit, and she sent me to Cherville to live with my grandfather. And so I start 8th grade in Dyer, which I mean, there was a lot more minorities in Maryville, because when I got to middle school in Dyer, there was like 4 Mexicans and 3 black people, and all 3 black people lived in Boys Town.
Oh wow. Okay.
So like there was no actual black people in the school that lived in Dyer. So it was like, what the, like.
Nah, see, this was coming from EC and then coming out to Maryville at that time. Like Maryville there was a lot of diversity going on, so it wasn't super different. But I would say the only thing that would really be different was
a little more white.
Yeah,
a little more white people.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you those are no music in high school, or was it like?
I mean, I was in band.
What did you play?
Well, actually, no. Junior high, I was in band, and I played the alto sax.
Okay. Oh shit! I can see you too.
Right.
Some sunglasses on, fucking cigarette hanging out your mouth, and playing the sax at the same time. Only he'd be able to pull that shit off.
I played the alto sax in junior high, and then when I went to high school, I tried to do music theory. I didn't get in band.
Okay.
And fun fact, the only class that I ever failed in high school was music theory.
Oh shit.
Was what?
Music theory.
Music theory.
You know what?
And then he's out here just making these songs like a motherfucker.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, did you ever send any music to your music theory teacher?
No.
You should look that teacher.
I mean, the other people in the music class knew that I made music.
Okay.
And so it was funny because like they respected what I did, but it was just 2 different sides of, okay, we're kind of like for real trained in this. Like everybody else was still in band. They went to competitions and was winning state and doing all this other stuff. And then I'm just in there trying to learn, trying to learn how to actually read music, but I was terrible at it.
What so you get to Maryville.
Yeah.
What was how did you was it like a fish out of water? You didn't know anybody type?
Yeah, pretty much. The only people that I met 2 girls.
Of course.
Right.
What year did you graduate?
2009.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
He graduated when I met him. When I met, oh my God, I was 29 at the time.
That was not
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I had just had a child.
That's
My
crazy.
daughter was 3, so yeah, I wasn't thinking about it. No more.
How was it? So you're making music in high school. right?
Yeah, at that point in time, I was just
Making beats.
yeah.
How long were you making beats until you decided to be like, fuck it, I could rap over this shit?
So if I started making beats in like 2005, but I really kind of started trying to take it serious more around 2007, and I ended up. That's kind of how I got introduced to some different people.
Okay.
In high school, there was like different groups that were rapping.
Yes.
Obviously, like you got a bunch of people that's trying to rap
Yeah.
in high school.
Anybody that we know now?
That's actually how I met Clark.
Oh shit! Shout out to T. Clark.
Right.
Shout out to T. Clark. Shout out to Boogie. I know
Yeah.
they're watching.
Yeah, there was a few people that are still making music, but yeah. So I was sitting there trying to get songs off and make beats for different artists in school, and so from Facebook again, not Facebook, from MySpace, I met this group that was in Maryville called the Authors, which was 6 guys that they all rapped, came together, made a group.
Okay.
And so they wrote me, shout out to my brother Jay Cook. He wrote me on wrote me on MySpace.
Oh, we still on
we still on MySpace. Wrote me on MySpace and was
Still
like,
on the MySpace.
And this is 09. This
this
prior.
is like, yeah, this is 2007,
Okay.
somewhere in there.
All right.
Wrote me and was like, yeah, like, because I had a music page, they had a music page, so they heard some of my beats that were on my page, and so they were like, yeah, like these sound dope. Like, you go to Maryville, such. Well, yeah, I'll be here in the morning. Like, let's link up. So I ended up meeting up with Jay Cook and Mike South and the rest of the Authors, and then I just started making beats for them, and so they would come to my house. At this point in time, like, this is when I was getting like learning how to get studio equipment, and I got like a little MXL 990 mic, and I was recording on like Adobe Audition.
Oh shit!
Yeah, recording on Adobe Audition. Didn't know what I was doing. We was just sitting there like. Like I said, Cook and South had that buzz going. And then we started linking up with different people in other schools. Like there was a group at Central called Moet.
Okay.
Shout out to my brother Larry. Shout out to A. Jones, Mike Smitty, everybody that was involved with that. And so we just started bringing stuff together between schools and just spreading it out. And so that's kind of how I built up like my name as, at that point in time, it was G Scott on the beat.
Oh shit! G Scott on the beat.
And I was going to ask you that. What is the Scott?
G
part?
Scott on the
G
beat.
Scott.
That came from one of my best friends' older brothers back. The original group that I started with, like I said, the 2 people that said they were gonna rap when we went to Six Flags.
Mm-hmm.
The guy in that group, his older brother was helping us all come up with like our stage names. Yeah.
Okay.
And so initially, because I had like my aunt had always called me G Money, but I didn't want to go with that. And so we were sitting there trying to come up with different stuff. And my middle name is Scott.
Okay.
So,
there it is.
Yeah. So then they just were like,
G.
okay,
Scott.
we'll just make it G Scott. Just call you G Scott. So,
It's a dope name. It's a marketable.
For the beat faculty fucking internet. Faculty One or some shit.
I believe it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, we're having internet problems, so we're going in and out. But when we go out, we try to stop talking. So when we come back, we pick up where we left off. When you're producing, did you had any type of fucking idea when you started producing that you might want to rap, or that was maybe something you wanted to do down the line, or was it not even thought about whatsoever?
Okay, so story that not a lot of people know. Like I tried to rap when I was making beats for this group, but I don't even think they know it. Before all of this, I actually like even before making beats, like in junior high, I would write poetry. I learned that I was kind of decent at writing poetry. I later went on to know that my mom writes poetry, and I guess that's kind of like where that came from.
Mm-hmm.
But so I was writing poems and different stuff. And once I got to high school, then that turned into, okay, I'm listening to these guys
Right.
rap over beats all day. Let me try to write something to something. So actually the first beat that I ever rapped on was the Beyonce and Jay-Z Upgrade.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah. This was like after Wayne came out with his freestyle or whatever. So we were sitting there just
Do you remember
doing
any
different stuff.
of that?
I have no idea what I was saying. But that was the first beat that I ever rapped on. I recorded it and I just never let anybody hear it.
Mhm.
I just kept it for myself. But that was like, okay, well maybe I could do this, but I kind of kept that in the back and
Right.
never really pursued it or anything until I got to college.
Okay.
Yeah, so
College.
great times.
College.
What school you went to?
You went away for college, didn't you?
Yeah,
Well, you not technically went away, but you left. You
I
left
left.
Gary.
Yeah, I went to Ball State.
Oh, you went to Ball State. Okay.
Yeah. So I was there, went to Ball State, graduated in 2009, went down to Ball State. I was majoring in telecommunications. And
Most of Gary went to Ball State. Apparently.
Ball State was a great time.
Mhm. I heard. So they tell me.
Yeah. So I went down there, and a couple of my friends from high school actually went there too. And so one of my guys who's actually like, we're still trying to figure out everything moving forward now, but he's acted as like my day-to-day manager for the most part. My guy, Matt Nathan.
Okay.
He was down there first because they had like a whole whatever it is. I know, like they do the welcome week, but
Mhm.
the people that are like, I guess in honors or whatever the situation is, they come down a little bit early. And so
like the GT.
yeah.
Don't say that.
So wait, he came down there, and I had put out like a compilation project before we graduated in high school.
Mhm.
So it was like me, I was actually rapping on it at that point. Cook has
Man, it's been a weird. We call this. We have these problems on White Devils all the time. So they can hear all of us. They just can't see Keisha right now because I'm resetting that camera. But every Wednesday during White Devils, I do this political podcast called White Devils on Wednesdays.
Y'all need to check that out. I share it every time.
So something always happens, and we always say it's the ghost of Herman Cain because we really got down on Herman Cain. If anybody watching don't know who Herman Cain is, but he was somebody that died of coronavirus after he went to a big Trump rally and didn't wear a mask after he talked shit about masks.
Mhm.
So we talked a lot of shit about him, and then after that, we started having fucked up issues with the internet or some equipment at some point during the shows.
Yeah, so Herman Cain is fucking with y'all.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. But
Shout out to Herman Cain.
He said RIP.
Yeah.
shout out to everybody who fucking that don't leave when we go black because they're like, oh, they'll be back in a second
Yeah,
because
exactly.
they're used to this shit.
Definitely stay on. talk to me in the comments. Let me know what y'all questions and thoughts are so we keep this going.
Y'all could also call in at
Or call in.
619-760.
Since Uncle Bobby wants to do
7114. If anybody got some, hey, I know some of you guys are watching that have been around young Gerald for a long time.
Don't do that.
If you got a funny story
There's probably a lot
that
of
might
funny-
embarrass
there's-
him,
There's a lot of funny stories.
I got one.
call in.
We might get to
I'm
something.
gonna call you Young Gerald from now on out. Though.
Hey, but so
YG.
why, like, what made you think that I could do this shit?
I don't know. Like the reason I actually started taking it serious was because when I went to college,
Mhm.
I didn't really know any artists there.
Okay.
Okay.
And so I was like, well, I need somebody to rap on my beats. And so I might as well try to do
Right.
it.
Let me ask you this. Do you remember your very first performance?
Yes. And the reason I remember my first performance is because, okay, so technically my first performance was supposed to be opening for Big Sean in Chicago at the Wild Hair.
Okay.
Now, if you know about that night in Chicago, it's an infamous night because shout out to Capital K in Chicago. He was an artist. They had a showcase that was being put on, and back at that time, and they still do it now, but back at that time, like they would make artists sell tickets, and then based on the amount of tickets that you sell, like it puts you in your lineup for where you're gonna be.
They still make you.
I know it, yeah, but this was like this showcase in particular was probably like the craziest showcase I've ever seen. Like normally you'll have like a lot of openers. This literally had to have probably like
Okay.
30 openers
Okay.
before you got to Big Sean. And so if you're an artist, you know that after a certain point, people are ready to see the main artist. So the crowd is getting restless. We all sitting there, everybody's looking for Big Sean now. That night it was me, my homie Ty from Fake Shore, and I want to say Smitty was with me. And my homegirl Morgan. And we were there, and so this dude, Capital K, was supposed to open. I was also supposed to open that night, but like I said, there was like 30 openers. So,
Because why wouldn't there be?
I mean that part.
So they probably got to like opener number 15, and then they were like, okay, we got to get Big Sean out here. And so they pretty much, it looked like they were cutting off the rest of the openers.
Okay.
So we had sold all these tickets, and nobody was performing. So this guy, shout out to Hustle Simmons.
Oh shit! Yeah, I know exactly what show you're talking about now.
Hustle Simmons was on stage with the mic talking to the crowd, and so this dude, one of the artists, goes up on stage, snatches the mic from Hustle Simmons, and is sitting there talking about, "Yo, this is some bullshit, such and such and such and such," and then says, "Fuck Chicago."
Oh.
As soon as he says "fuck Chicago," Hustle Simmons grabs him and like tackles him off the stage. If you find the video online, because the video still exists, you find the video online, you will see a little bit of me, and then if you know my homegirl Morgan, she like kind of escaped to death because like she was right where they fell off stage.
Okay, wait, what venue was this again?
The Wild Hair in Chicago.
Oh,
Yeah, the Wild Hair.
Yeah, been there.
Yeah.
Been there. Okay, so wait, so I know
so
it probably went up from there, right?
yeah, so after that it was pretty much done. Like we got out of there because they pretty much shut it down.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So the next night we had actually lined up 2 shows, so didn't get to do that one, but I was opening for Wiz in Fort Wayne.
Okay.
I forgot.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get it.
And so we were in Chicago that night. We went back home, drove out to Fort Wayne the next day. That show actually went pretty decent. That was my first time ever performing. I actually still have that video up on my YouTube. It was me, Mike Smitty, and my guy Nige all performing. And it's funny to look back at that video now because I'm a way better performer.
Way better.
But
I'm a way better performer.
Way better. I personally don't remember meeting you. I think we did meet through Facebook or something. Or I don't. Can you remind me?
It was probably through Facebook.
Okay, because
Yeah.
It was probably.
yeah, I'm sure everybody.
It was probably through it.
I'm sure, but then when somebody send me a friend request, I do go to their page first. I'm like, oh, okay, you're an artist. Let me check it out. Then I start hearing your songs, and then I started hearing your name a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, let me go on and add friend.
Okay.
That's what's up, though, G Scott. I've been following you for a long time.
I know. There's been a few people out here in the area that kind of have like known about me, but they'll try to put other people on, and then they're like, well, who is that? What does he do? Such and such. And you've always been one of the people that anytime I do anything, like if you got a chance to support it or show love or spread it, you always do that.
I'm there. That's what I do.
I definitely appreciate it.
Thank you. See, Rob, I'm not so bad.
Who said you were? I never said that.
No, you
No.
definitely never said that.
Not me. Maybe some other people.
I know, right? I am just unlike, but I accept it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know why.
It comes with the territory, though. You
Yeah,
know, you
unfortunately.
yeah, unfortunately. I'm not a manager. You know what I'm saying? I guess I'm a promoter per se, host. And so I'm not exclusive to anyone.
Right.
Some people tend, to take that.
Yeah. I know
Personally.
that. Yeah.
Personally. And no, I'm not just about to push you. I'm going to push this person. And especially if you got a good product behind you, like yourself. Because I ain't going to tell you my favorite song yet. I'm going to wait till y'all. Because I know you.
Okay, all right.
When you decided to start rapping,
Mm.
like I know you didn't come out and be like I'm a gangster rapper, so
Nah.
you already been listening to what did young G Scott listen to growing up, like as a child?
Well, remember he couldn't.
I mean,
listen
yeah,
to
like I
rap.
couldn't, like I said, like I
Yeah.
couldn't really.
Like
I
you didn't
would-
sneak nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Like I okay, so I was trying to figure out a way to
I love
get
you.
back to that. So that's a good segue. My mom used to, for side money, like clean up a few people's houses.
Okay.
And so I would go help her.
Okay.
And from there, she would like just give me extra money or whatever for helping her. And so one of the houses that we used to clean was my aunt's house. And my uncle has like this big ass CD collection.
All right.
And so at that point in time, like I think the only CDs that I really had was like I had the Space Jam soundtrack.
Wait.
I mean, you have to. You have to.
We are done talking.
We are. It's a wrap. Like
I had the Space Jam soundtrack. I
I see
had.
Buzz Bunny. So you
you said that.
Hey, listen, the Space Jam soundtrack was fire.
Yeah, it was. It actually was.
It really was.
Bugs Bunny had a dope ass verse.
Facts. I had what else did I have at that time? Or around that time? The Rugrats movie soundtrack, which was also fire. If you don't know about the Rugrats movie soundtrack,
Yeah, that's it. It has some
they
shit
had
on
some. They had some shit on now. I probably had like a few regular CDs too.
Okay,
but
so y'all about to make me
that's
go
what
listen to these soundtracks. 'Cause,
No, dude, listen.
I mean, Space Jam I'm with you, but Rugrats
No, the
soundtrack.
Rugrats movie soundtrack. They had what was the song with like Maya and Blackstreet?
Yeah, I know.
Oh wait,
Yeah, yeah, that was on there.
That was on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to go dig in the crates.
Yes, that was
Hey.
definitely on there.
So I'm helping clean the house, so I got my CD player or whatever, and I'm constantly seeing like all of my uncle's CDs. So I just start as I'm down there cleaning. My mom is like upstairs cleaning another room or something like that. So I'm down there by myself. I'm sitting there looking through all the CDs. And I remember I took like what was it? Pharrell's In My Mind CD, Outkast, Aquemini, Late Registration.
It's
Those were the
he's
like
talking about the CDs. It's funny because the reason I asked him if he had a little sneak story
Uh-huh.
because I got the NWA cassette, right? And then my mom heard it and she's like, no. And she gave it to my cousins who like one was 3 years older than me, the other was 4 year old,
Right.
4 years old. They were brothers. And well, what they did, they just took it and they dubbed it over Madonna tape.
Oh,
And
gave it right back to me.
that part, yeah.
My mom thought, oh, Madonna, all right, cool. Boom.
That's
Not
pretty
knowing.
much.
That was my sneak
I
story.
think we all got
But with you, see, with his generation, they could just burn CDs and just put what right on it, whatever the hell they
we
wanted
had
on
to
it.
hit play and record at the same time.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I did when I was
Until our
younger.
age.
I will take it back there because I had before middle school or whatever. When I was trying to like sneak and listen to rap or whatever, like I had no other way other than the radio.
Yeah.
And so I think back then I had a Talkboy.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I used to like take the blank tapes and then like I would put the Talkboy up to the speaker and then the songs that would come on, I would sit there and record them.
That's
on
how
the
we used to do our voicemails. I just want to let you know.
Yes. We timed it. We timed it perfectly. People used to pay me to do their voicemails.
Oh my
What?
God.
Yeah, I would like talk shit or whatever, like, yeah, for real.
But you had an ultimate voice for it, so.
Yeah, like it'd be crazy. Like I always found.
So you got paid.
My little sneak story is, and just got this before your time, but
Uh-huh.
I had my daddy to buy me Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Okay.
And he had no idea.
He had no idea. So
What happened when he got the idea?
I hit play. My bedroom was next to theirs.
Oh, so you heard what
All I hear is boom, door flew open. Knocked the whole radio on the floor. I mean, you gonna do me like this? But then my sister that was living out of town, she was on the road with her job at the time working. She bring me Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, and I could pump that through the house though, huh?
Nah, they gonna let you,
But Sir Mix-a-Lot, I can't.
you can't do all that. Will Smith, you can listen to Will Smith.
I was over. I was done with my parents at that point. Y'all not letting me live.
Parents just don't understand.
Yeah.
There you go.
That part.
There you go.
And the rest of their souls, love them.
Yeah, I could. Young Gerald.
Young
Fuck yeah.
Gerald. And this is gonna be stuck in my head
Hey,
for
that's-
weeks.
hey.
G Scott, you gotta change your
I'm not
name.
changing my name to Young Gerald.
You
He's too old for Young Gerald.
got to, bro.
He's just Young Gerald to me. But what's the first song you rapped on? Like, what was it? A solo song? Did you record it by yourself? Did you go to the studio,
First song.
or were you real introvertish like you are, and you fucking waited till nobody was home? And
I mean, like I said, like the first song that I recorded was that freestyle to Upgrade You, but like
no,
the
the real
actual-
song,
like a real
yeah.
song. I wasn't introverted with it because that whole first, like I said, that compilation project. This was at the time where like T-Pain had just came out, and so
Okay.
that's like where I kind of fall in. This was
Okay.
like right before I started making my own songs for this compilation right before 808s, but right when it was in the height of like T-Pain and that whole
Okay.
type of
Yeah.
thing.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I literally, at that point in time, like we had a running joke because I was real impressionable, as all artists are kind of when you're first starting off. So
Okay.
if I found something that I liked, I literally probably was like a fusion of, I was trying to be Lupe Fiasco, T-Pain, which we had a running joke where they would call me G-Pain.
G-Pain.
Because I was sitting there using auto-tune. We didn't know about keys or any of that. So we just throwing auto-tune on the vocals and just going.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of where that started. And then once I got to college, like I said, I didn't know anybody to rap on my stuff, so I started rapping. And then that's where I had like my actual first mixtape, which I don't really consider my first mixtape anymore, but it probably exists somewhere on the internet if you can find it. Technically, I consider Weekend in Las Vegas my first mixtape, but I had 2 projects before that that just exist.
Because that's how I knew you before, the projects before that.
Yeah, and the project I'm talking about, that was the first project that I actually started rapping. It was called The Billionaire Block Boy. That project.
If you notice his hoodie.
Yeah. New merch coming soon. That project.
There we go.
It's back good.
Man,
Oh my.
bro.
That shit look crazy.
Hey, everybody's watching right now. Like, what the hell? Hey, there's some pretty cool stuff we do over here on Friday Night Live.
That's what happened.
Shout out to Herman Cain. He's a pretty good behind the scenes producer.
That part.
Okay, so wait, where were we at?
You're in Muncie.
I was sitting there talking about my first. Okay, being a black woman.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was it. Yeah, like the first time that I actually started rapping or whatever, and just taking songs seriously. And that, even though I don't count it as my first project, because it was pretty much just me making songs in my dorm room. I didn't really have a concept of.
You're like Mike Posner of Ball State.
Yeah, and actually, like that probably would have been an influence at that point in time because I was early Big Sean, which translates into Mike Posner and all that, Wiz and different people like that. But that project kind of got the attention of, like I said, this was like the height or the beginning of the blog era.
Yes.
Of sorts. And so when I put that out, that's how I ended up meeting another one of my really close friends, Ty from Fake Shore. At that point in time, he wasn't with Fake Shore. He had his own blog with another girl, with a girl, Danny, called Ill City.
Okay.
And so I was just hitting up different blogs, sending that project out just to see, like, okay, I see all these other people on these sites. Let me see if I can get on some of these sites and see what people think of my music. And he heard it and he was like, yo, you're dope. Threw it on his site. A bunch of other early blogs, What's in My Headphones, few different places. I had my own blog at that point on Blogspot. Shout out to Blogspot that no one uses anymore.
Yeah.
Right. Is that still up?
I don't know.
I
actually think my Blogspot still exists. I looked it up not too long
I
ago.
could have sworn I just seen some recently.
With a Blogspot?
Yeah, with a Blogspot. This is
I have no
unacceptable.
idea.
Somebody put in the comments.
But I was hitting up the different blogs that were putting it on. And so that kind of like gave me a little confidence to be like, okay, maybe this is something I can continue with. And so from there, like I said, like I met Ty and we hit it off as far as like me being one of the people. He kind of like was how I was with Rob, where anytime I would make something, I'll send it to him for him to listen to. If it was dope, he would post it. And go from there. We just built a relationship. And like I said, that to this day is still one of my really close friends.
Well, let me ask you this. What was your first show back home?
It would have to be, I don't remember what it was, but it probably was somewhere at the Loft.
The Loft?
It probably was the Loft.
Okay.
But I didn't do a lot of like at-home shows at that point.
Okay.
A lot of what I was trying to do was like a lot of Chicago type stuff because that kind of like was the bigger market of sorts.
The more bigger market, okay.
Yeah. And then I kind of looking back, I probably just didn't care as much about here because I looked at it like when I first started, I reached out to a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
And
let's get to the meat. Let's get it. Come on now. Let me sit up.
I mean, but I reached out to a bunch of, and it was nothing against them. Like they were doing what they were doing, and I was just like some kid in high school trying to send them beats. So they kind of like brushed it off or whatever. And I was like, well, okay, nobody wants to mess with me. Well, I'm gonna just do all this different stuff on my own. And so like I wasn't really focused on here. I was kind of more so, like I said, like I'm gonna go to Chicago, and the people out there in that scene, between the Chicago blogs and the promoters and different stuff, they showed me a lot of love and kind of embraced me into the scene at that point. And so
because it didn't used to be like that. You know, Chicago used to stick with Chicago. Gary used to stick with Gary. But now it's kind of blended now, you know. So I do like that part. What's going on right now? But I like what you did too. You went to Chicago. Same thing I did with the dancing. You know, I'm like, okay, I'm going to Chicago. That part.
So I went. So I went there and met a bunch of different people. Like I said, like just for me meeting different people at that point in time, like that's how when I did the first show, I was able to meet. At that point in time, they were just promoters, but now I know Dilla manages Dirk. But at that point in time, Dilla and his partner that also manages Dirk, I believe, they were throwing a bunch of different shows in the city. And so just from being cool in that space, like I was actually able to, where a lot of the other openers had to stay in the front, like I got to go meet Ty and Smitty went to the back and actually got to meet Big Sean that day. And then that would later go on to, I'm pretty sure Big Sean don't remember that shit now. But
why would he?
I'm saying like there was a run where it was like every show that he did in this area, I knew somebody. So it was like I was always the one that was the opener.
Okay.
Or was supposed to be the opener. So like there was a point where it was 2 days in a row and I did the show opening for Sean the first night. And that's when we had met him. And then the next day we went down to Bloomington and we were supposed to do the show. But I don't know if I think he ended up not doing it or something like that because they didn't sell enough tickets. Well, the promoter didn't sell enough tickets. So it literally was
I
like
couldn't even ask the name.
it was like me and Smitty are standing outside the venue and then Sean and them walk up and then he saw us because we were like the only people that looked like we were standing in line. And he was like, oh shit, y'all was there last night. What's going on? So he talked to us for a minute and he was like, is this the line for the show? And we was like, yeah. He was like, oh, damn.
Unfortunately,
there was nobody there at that point.
Yeah, shit happens.
Yeah, so, so going back, what was I talking about? Like the I forgot my initial point. I got off into a whole story.
You good.
Keep telling the story.
Yeah,
that too.
Yeah, because we were talking about like my stuff, my shows, my stars. So so those were kind of like the beginning shows.
Okay, so let me ask you this: as far as being back in this area, what do you feel about the whole scene right now? I'll be honest. I mean, I laugh too.
I made a comment the other day that I kind of understand what I should have listened to my homie McGill in 2017. Because there was a point in time where I was trying to be like, we would sit there and joke and be like, I'm the Chance the Rapper of 219. Because I was trying to be the one that's, okay, everybody, we just need to make quality music, do this, do that. Everybody should come together, support each other, do this. If
you
your
trying
music,
to be the middleman, huh?
Yeah, I was trying to get everybody to just unify up. And so just do some Atlanta shit. Like, you got a dope song. If I think it's dope, I'm going to share it. If I don't think it's dope, I might not share it. But just having camaraderie in the area where it's like, okay, I'm going to come support this. I'm going to come support that.
Okay.
And so a lot of times there was a point from, I want to say, maybe 2017, like that end of 2016 to 2018, where I kind of made it a point to, like I said, like before I really didn't do shows at home. So I said like, okay, this time period, I'm gonna come out and I'm not gonna do it all the time, but okay, if somebody that I know is doing a show at Voodoo, I'm gonna come. If I'm doing it, if I'm not doing it, I'm gonna come show up, support just to be there. If they're doing it at the Loft, I'm gonna do that.
I think that's around the time you and I started. Okay.
Because I started coming out to different stuff more. And just to try to be in the scene and be in the area and just, I didn't want to be like some ghost ass figure that you only see online. And so I'm grateful for that time because I got a chance to meet a bunch of different people that I didn't know.
My question.
But what I've learned over...
You know, I'm putting you on the spot. Answer the question.
What I've learned... What I've learned over this time...
I put him on the spot, y'all. Sorry.
Is that I don't know what it'll take, but I'm not the one to unify the area. I'm like I told Miguel, I am not Neo.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the area will ever be unified.
How How did college end?
How did college end? There's probably a picture somewhere on my Facebook of me like shirtless on a cart.
Okay, you know what?
I know that picture exists somewhere on my Facebook, but like I said, like college was a wild time. It was a great experience for everything other than learning.
Okay.
But I did learn a lot of different things in college.
That's why I didn't go to college till I was in my early 30s.
Oh.
Me too.
That might have helped.
Because if I would have followed
The
the plan like you're supposed to, like I didn't even graduate high school. I dropped out of high school because I was making too much money. I was like, why am I gonna go wake up early and go do this bullshit? So then I eventually went and got my GED and went to school, right? And I don't think I could have done it.
You need to do a comedy show, bro.
I don't think I could have done it from like 18 to 22. Like there is no fucking way.
I stepped into it and I was like, oh.
Because I was a grown ass man in my 30s and I was like, what the fuck? How the hell do kids do this shit?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
It can be done. I know a lot of people that did do it.
Oh yeah, me too.
It has been done. Yeah. Yeah.
We just were there.
I'd want to have a little bit too much fun.
I think like the first weekend of college.
Oh.
This was like before even class had started. Like we had went out. It was at Welcome Week. And I got an infamous story. I still got some of the photos and different shit from it.
Do tell.
But another one of my very close friends.
Yeah, you don't get to say nothing else. You just sit over there.
This guy, my guy Josiah, he went to school at, was he in that? It was IUPUI, I think. The IUPUI, I believe.
Ooey
Yeah.
Ooey pooey.
One of them, I forgot exactly. I don't even remember what school he went to, but he's from EC.
Okay.
But he was down there, but he had a bunch of friends that went to Ball State too, and so for our welcome week, they drove down to Ball State. Josiah is like a few years older than me, so he was like maybe a junior at that time, and I was a freshman. And so he calls me and is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be at this house party tonight. Come through." So mind you, we're me and my freshman friends in the dorm, and we all are like, okay, we finna go out to these parties tonight, whatever. So we pregame at the dorm, and mind you, like I had drank a little before that, but
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but
Okay.
it was nothing like.
It was nothing like.
Yeah, I'm talking about like you sneaking. In
Yeah.
high school, you sneaking liquor from my dad's
Okay.
whatever
Yeah.
going out. Yeah, but this was like my first like for real like college experience. We finna pregame
Okay.
and go do all of this. So freshman year was all about like trash ass liquor too. So like I think we had like a fifth of Skull.
I'm done.
Shit.
I'm done.
Shit.
Thank y'all for having juice.
Yeah. So we poured like obviously like we got pop bottles or whatever. And so we got like we pregame first and then we pour our stuff in the pop bottles to go out. And so like it's Mountain Dew mixed with Skull. And we get to the house party. Party was cracking, everybody kind of lit. So then we go to the kitchen. Like my friends went to the kitchen because they was going.
That sounds like some like Southern Indiana drink, like some Mountain Dew and some Skull. like that sounds like some shit that
looking
people
back
can't wait till they
listen,
get drink.
Listen. If you ever drink Skull, that shit is a bad decision in a bottle.
Oh,
Yeah.
I swear. Oh, that is and it's cheap.
Yeah, like a fifth was like $10.
$10.
A fifth's like $2.99.
That's like the bad
yeah, like we could get like half gallons and shit.
And you get the Mountain Dew for free.
Oh, I'm sick of this right now.
So we get to the party.
Y'all
Josiah,
thought y'all was lit. Y'all was doing something, huh?
yeah, like it started off as a good night. And so as we're at the party, Josiah comes out from wherever he's at. He has a backpack on. In his backpack, every party that he goes to, apparently at that point, he had a backpack that would have his liquor in it. So he had another fifth.
That's how some Southern Indiana shit too.
I mean, Josiah is black.
Yeah.
But
It's still Southern Indiana.
I mean, yeah, like
Yeah, Rome.
He just
Yeah, shout out to Rome. He's like the Skull vodka bottles, plastic.
It's plastic. It's
Where's
plastic.
Rome at? He in the comments.
He's on the comments on the stream on my page.
Okay, I'm gonna go to your page.
So he pulls out this bottle of apple Smirnoff. And then he's like, take it.
That's an upgrade from the school.
That is, yeah.
Did y'all used to do it with apple juice?
No, he was taking straight shots.
Oh, interesting.
See,
So
because you don't need the Mountain Dew anymore.
Listen,
Right.
You got the apple flavor.
He pulled
Moving on up.
He pulled the Smirnoff out, and then out the same bag, he pulled shot glasses out.
Prepared.
Yeah.
That's
So-
somebody you want around in college.
No, you don't.
No.
So he pulls the shot glasses out, and he's like, "Yeah, take a shot." So we take one shot together, and then he pours another one. So in this span of maybe like 5 minutes, I take probably like 5 or 6 straight shots.
Okay.
Added to the pregame that we had already did.
Okay.
And then I went back
With
in the
the
kitchen.
with the Mountain Dew. So okay,
Yeah,
let's
with the
keep
Skull
going.
and Mountain Dew. And then we go back in the kitchen, and then we had our personal bottles that we had. So we were just sitting
Yeah.
there.
So
sipping
what
on
he
it, drinking
slapped?
that. No, he was fine.
No, I'm
He-
talking
no,
about
he
you.
was
Josiah
I'm
is
talking
like
about you.
a tank. I'm done.
Jeez. Out.
So that was literally when I walked in the kitchen, my homie Lenny was like leaned on the wall. And he handed me the bottle of Mountain Dew. I remember drinking some of it, and that's the last thing I remember from that night. Apparently, after that, it was a long ass adventure because the story for that is entirely too long. But it led to me blacking out. I went to sleep in the basement of whatever house that it was for a while, and then I woke up again, but I was blacked out. So they tried to get me to get back. We were all trying to walk back to the dorms. I fell asleep again and passed out in the bushes. Then they got me up and they were like, "Yeah, we need to get a taxi." So then we got a taxi. The taxis at school are free, but we ended up giving them all of the money that was in my wallet because I threw up in the taxi. And then when we finally got back to the dorm.
That was in
to
a
get
yellow cab. I can imagine
Yeah.
it right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then we trying to get back. We get back to the dorms. I 100% passed out on the front lawn of La Follette Hall. Rest in peace to La Follette at Ball State. And threw up on myself again. The police came and were going to take me to jail for public intox,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't want to touch me because I had thrown up on myself so much.
Look at you.
Oh,
Winning.
Ew.
Winning.
Right.
So they told my friends, like, mind you, that my friends are also very drunk, but just not as drunk as me.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were like, if you can get him up to his room, we won't take him to jail.
Oh,
And so-
that's nice of them.
They pulled out a dolly, like the dollies that you use to move your stuff in.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And at this point, like, I had lost the hoodie that I was wearing that night. I don't know where the shirt was.
So let me get this right. You on
So
a
you're shirtless?
dolly?
They put me on the dolly.
He's shirtless on the dolly. Let's get.
They put me on the dolly, put me in the elevator, took me up to our floor, and got me to my room. Shout out to my homie Gage. Gage stayed with me in the night to make sure that I didn't throw up and die in my sleep.
That part. So, now hold on. I gotta get back to this dolly because I know what a dolly is.
Yeah. I'm gonna find the picture and I'll show you.
Please.
It's on my Facebook somewhere. Look through my old college photos.
You was on a refrigerator dolly.
Yeah, like I've had early college and early me was a wild boy.
But that's good though. You know what? I think everybody should have had some type of experiences like that in our younger years.
And a lot of that, I guess, translated to
Shout out to Rev who's watching. Rev's actually in the front part of the studio watching. He said, that sounds like he said, like I did you like I did when you drank this plastic bottle of Jack Daniel's honey. That's a story towards the end of the show that I'll tell.
we're gonna get to that.
We're gonna get to
I
that.
can't wait to get to that because I'm looking at. Okay.
Yeah, but that kind of like that whole college experience kind of like crafted a lot of what my sound would turn into, I guess. It just gave me experiences that I used to make music.
Okay.
Like a lot of my life has.
So, then to college. You didn't finish school, did you?
No.
No.
After
No.
You know,
No.
after my
That long ass story. Nope.
after my freshman year, my parents were like, "Yo, bring your ass home."
How was your grades?
Not that
Mhm.
amazing.
That-
They were probably like
not good enough where your parents were like,
yeah,
okay.
like I think I had like it was like a 2 point something
Oh
my
shit.
freshman year.
He had a G.
He had a G for Gerald.
G Sky.
G for young Gerald.
Yeah, so my parents were like, "Come
See,
home."
Rob is like really
Yeah.
instilling that in my head, and then you know.
I call him that all the time.
I'm just gonna keep running with this young Gerald shit.
So see, here's why I call him young Gerald.
Okay.
Here's the backstory. When I got back here last year, he started calling me Uncle Bobby.
Oh.
He coined the term Uncle Bobby. That's where it came from. So in turn, I started calling him Gerald.
Wait.
I didn't realize that's why you called me.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
See, look, he learned something on his own interview.
Okay. Oh, his own.
In his own, he learned something different.
But I done learned the whole lot. You, Uncle Bobby, younger. Okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rob here with that Cobra Kai shirt on tonight. I'm waiting on the next season. Gotta say that real quick. Go ahead.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
So parents basically yanked you out,
Yeah.
brought you home.
Told me to come home, and then I went to.
You wild in the streets of the G when you came back?
No, not the same. I came home.
Come back alcoholic?
No.
Your parents had no idea you came back alcoholic.
This guy.
They didn't know who you were when you came back, did they? You were.
I mean, I wouldn't like. It wasn't super crazy of a difference. It was just like, yeah, like okay, we know you have experience and different things off of school. But I came back home and I ended up going to IUN.
Okay.
For a year after that, and then in the
so
process,
you went on Broadway, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds crazy.
They do know.
Just went on Broadway.
That's why I said that.
I went to college on Broadway.
I'm sorry. Yeah. There is a nice college on Broadway.
Yeah. I went there
University
for like a year.
right now. Okay, go ahead.
And somewhere along there, I got a job at this plant out in Cal City, I think. And so I was making a pretty good amount of money.
Going to school and working at the same time or no?
Once I got that job, I just stopped school.
All right. So when you come back, you go a year IUN. You still making music when you come back?
Yeah.
Getting heavier into it. Because this is what you come back. This what 2000.
Yeah. This was like when I came back. I had done these like early shows. I kind of had like a buzz going off at school and in different places. So I come back and I think right in the beginning of me coming back, they were doing like the whole Power 92 thing on Sundays and all that. And so I ended up having an interview on there. And from there, like everybody, like a lot of people from here were like, oh, look like you're doing pretty well as far as the music thing going. And so in the midst of all of this, like I said, like I was making music. I think this is around the time that I met Boy Genius. Because in college, okay, rewind for a second.
Rewind.
In college,
you got a contact high. Sorry, guys.
I kind of do. In Facebook,
it happens to everybody.
We all do.
In
over here lit up.
On Facebook, I believe this was Facebook.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I like it.
I met
that FNL behind me stands for Friday Night Live.
I met my guy Isaac. He was in a group at that point in time called Isaac and Danny. This was like I said, like right around the time when I came home from college.
Isaac, I think you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out to Isaac.
And so he had a song that he did that I had heard, and I was like, okay, this is kind of dope. And then he heard one of my songs that came out called "Pulled Up," And so he was like,
I like that song.
yeah,
That's a very. Where is it? Where is it? Can we find it online?
it
Yeah, that's
exists.
fine.
It exists online somewhere.
And I need y'all to find my favorite one. I'm gonna play it up. It's long as hell though. G Scott, I be trying to play your video sometimes.
You talking about
No.
Okay, we'll get to it.
How do you spell it?
How do I spell it? Poeb. Oh,
Such an ignorant spelling. See if we can find this.
I don't
Oh
like
man,
that.
we're not gonna be able to find this.
It's
Look,
not.
the computer's going crazy.
Oh,
Thank God.
no.
No. But no. So I did pull it up, and then Isaac had heard it, and so he was like, "Hey, I want to remix it." And so I was like, "Okay, cool." Like I hadn't really worked with anybody like that in the area, new. And so he was like, "Yeah, the studio I go to is in Whiting. So come through there and record it." And so went over there, which just happens to be Boy Genius's apartment at that time.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, so I go in there and I meet Isaac and Boy J, and we're just sitting there laughing, vibing. That was the first time I met them, and they were real cool, and we ended up just keeping the friendship going. And so on that initial meeting, Boy J was like,
Oh shit.
"What?"
I think I found it.
Oh.
Please no.
And you know who you got to thank us for it?
Ty,
No.
this night, I guarantee it doesn't play from there.
I don't think so. No, because it's a use your share file.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
We need that video, bro.
Hold on. Oh shit.
It still works.
No. Well, that one don't work. But there's a lot of links on here to other shit. I wonder what else we can find.
Well, anyway, back to that though.
Go ahead.
Met Boy J. Boy J was just like, yeah, I like your music. I like your sound.
Okay.
We should record with me some more. So that's kind of like how me and Boy Genius's
Musical relationship started. I always wondered that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
without
Isaac was the key.
yeah, without Isaac.
I always wonder where Isaac came into.
Yeah, that was his part. And so me and Isaac ended up doing a bunch of music, and then obviously Boy J became my engineer too. And at that point in time, like he was working with a bunch of people. Like this is like Boy J had to be like maybe 21, 22, somewhere in there. And then I think he was probably like maybe 23, 24, because I was like 20, 21. He was a few years older than me. But he kind of had like a background as far as like, even though he was a DJ, him recording, he had like a real kind of production type of ear as far as like getting the best out of, I know for me, he gets the best out of me as far as like getting my delivery and different stuff down.
Okay.
And so he was responsible for kind of like helping me elevate as an overall artist. Because I think at that point in time, like he was also working with Rotimi, who obviously like makes music, and then obviously went on to,
obviously
obviously went on to be on Power. But he was working with him a lot.
So he with Power right now?
Rotimi was on the first season of Power.
Okay.
He played Dre.
Okay. So you don't work with this.
I mean, I didn't work with him, but Boy J, that was
J
he was the one. That was the artist that he was working with before.
Okay.
Before me and Isaac. And so after meeting them, like it was just constantly, just every chance that I got a chance to go over there and record.
You went and recorded.
And I was recording with Boy J.
Okay. And that spawned, what did that?
And that spawned Weekend in Las Vegas. That's where that project came from.
What about, that was, what year was that?
Weekend in Las Vegas was 2011.
2011.
Okay.
So like that time in 2010, like was when I met him and all of that. And then from that 2010 to 2011 section, that's kind of like where those songs came from.
Okay.
And then I guess I should touch on in between, like.
Yeah, I was about to say, let me dig into your writing skills. Do you write or do you freestyle?
He mumbles. He mumbles the melody till he plugs the word in.
Okay, that makes sense.
But
That's good though.
No, I mean, okay, so
That's he has a more complex explanation for it, but
it's basically
that's
what he said is
basically
the simple answer.
Okay.
In
It
the
makes sense,
beginning,
though.
in the beginning, I used to write strictly just write to the beats.
With the note.
So-
okay.
let's thank that Piff for having.
You gotta relax.
That part.
So I know I could if I played anything on from here, what would you want it to be? Because I know I cannot get kicked off Facebook for playing this
Yeah.
because it is not sync licensed to
I don't
anything.
even remember what's on here. What is on here?
Oh shit, we got the good morning intro.
Good morning was kind of fun.
Welcome to life.
Welcome to life. Sky high.
Sky high, famous, hold up, Facebook is an interlude, addictive girl.
Skype me.
Facebook is
Skype me.
an interlude?
Hey, Skype me. He talking about cyber sex back in the day.
Oh.
Young dirty Gerald.
Oh my, wait, he said Facebook was the interlude though?
I got
Oh,
an interlude. If you listen to a lot of this though,
Voicemail, bump your head.
a lot of this stuff
Like
that
this,
I was
like
doing,
that, standing
it's
standing
just-
Do
ovation.
people even make interludes
Make
anymore?
love to the microphone. It just sounds like a soundtrack to a fucking Pornhub fucking compilation.
okay, so there's a couple on here that I never want anybody to ever hear.
But
But bump your head is hard.
Okay.
Shout out to Gage.
I'm gonna post this link on my Facebook later, guys.
absolutely, please post that.
Hey, speaking of old shit coming to the surface, young Gerald had all his fucking private videos on YouTube publicly post Facebook earlier this week.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen the real fake video, it's somewhere on
Yeah.
Facebook right now.
So this was this technically your first solo mixtape?
That's the mixtape that I was talking about. That
Yeah.
And what,
Yeah,
they,
got on the
and
And what was
the
next?
name
Was
of it
was
again?
Weekend wasn't next? Was there another one before that?
Yeah, there was okay, yeah, you're right. See, I'm completely
See,
I got rid of everything before Weekend in Las Vegas. in
but
my
no,
mind.
that shaped a part of you leading into Weekend in Las Vegas. So,
Yeah.
like what was it?
That was Scott Bailey versus the World.
Yes, bro,
Oh, okay.
bro.
So you want G Scott? You was Scott Bailey versus the world.
It's
not-
yeah, it's go ahead,
Okay,
break
so,
it down.
Yeah, please.
So around this time, the movie Scott Pilgrim versus the World came out, and so for anybody on the internet that I've seen people like, oh, he's copying Uzi and he's doing this and such. No, I was the first nigga to
Wait,
do
Lil Uzi Vert?
No, yeah.
a lot of his aesthetic and different stuff comes from Scott Pilgrim versus the World,
Yeah.
the comic book. and the movie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But back then, I made my project loosely based on the movie, even though like I had seen the movie once, but I didn't intentionally plan on making it like that. But a lot of people that listened to it was like, oh, it's kind of like
Took it.
there's
like
certain
that.
there's certain elements of this that fit with the movie. And so that's how I kind of got the title of Scott Bailey versus the World, which
Yeah.
in a few we'll fast forward to Versus the Universe, which is really based on
Again, shout out to that Piff because I'm scrolling through the track listing now.
Scott Bailey versus the World was
What year we at? What year?
2011.
We at
That's
11?
Yes.
Okay.
so what weekend in Las Vegas had to be 2012 then.
Hold on, 2010. Yeah, well, you posted Scott Bailey versus the World
If it's on Net Piff,
on that Piff on June 13th, 2011 is when you
Okay, yeah,
you posted it.
that's when
You
it
posted
came.
that in
That's when
Gemini
it,
season.
Yeah.
So some things. Like that.
So- As I'm going through these track listings, the first thing you ever sent me was Pulled Up.
that was the first song.
That was the first song that you ever sent me. That now it's making more sense as
sense,
I'm going
yeah.
through everything.
I need to hear some of this.
You don't want to.
You don't want it.
I will listen. I'm admittingly saying that I was trash back when I first
Nah,
started.
now
Was
I
there-
need to be the
Ain't
judge.
everybody trash when they first start out? Let's see here.
What do you play? Oh, this. Let you sign on, but you
Damn. Oh my.
That's the Facebook
Is
interlude.
it
Wow.
okay for me to die right now? I just wanna
That is
know.
the greatest
The
thing.
greatest freestyle that I've ever done.
That
And
part.
the tune on that was quite heavy, sir.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like
That
it
was-
literally, I
that
didn't know
was,
how to
um,
use. I
that
didn't know how
was
to
You
use.
something
think you could have made some money off of that, right?
That was,
I think it's still.
And then this pulled up.
yeah.
I gotta hear this.
So this is in my inbox. First thing I ever heard from G. Scott.
Wait, hold on.
You didn't even have no bass in your voice yet.
But that wasn't so bad though. What you?
It's no worse than any of the new music now today.
I mean, this
It's
is
crazy.
True. Yeah,
Look.
At least you're better.
it's funny. Like I actually just not too long ago went back and listened to all this.
What about the beats?
And
You
I
make the
made the beat.
beats?
And I made the beat.
And you made the beat.
Mm.
Look
And you
at
wrote the
him.
beat. And you
Look
wrote
at
it.
him.
I mean, I'm not saying that I was bad, but
No,
He said,
but you're your own worst critic, and I understand that, which every artist is, you know. But that didn't sound bad to me.
I appreciate it. You don't
And
lie.
what year
You
was
don't
that?
You don't got
No,
2010.
2000.
First of all,
Yeah.
everybody know Keisha
2010,
Kautiouz said go live.
2011.
I'm gonna tell you straight up. I didn't. That was not bad. You was right.
And then he dropped Scott Bailey versus the World. You know, what do you like on that?
I don't even
Because hold on,
remember what. I need to look at the track list for that.
let me play this.
Oh yeah, fuck my manager.
Oh, let's hit
I mean,
that.
hold on, let me start playing for a second.
Definitely want to hear that.
I'm waiting for it to play.
This the interlude, isn't it?
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
everybody-
I want to hear the interlude. This is fuck my man.
Shout out to my homie,
but it's
my
being
homie
weird.
Show Tiggy.
You got an interlude on this one too. Okay,
I got interludes on all the projects.
everything?
damn,
Yeah,
Even you do.
that's the thing about him. He's always, no matter what, he's always operated on what you could say a professional level.
Okay. I was about
You
to
know,
say
he always wanted to present that a full package product type. You know what, if you know what I'm saying?
No, I know exactly what you said.
Like I like to, anytime I do like a full project, I definitely like to kind of approach it as if it was like a full album.
Absolutely.
And so
you got to incorporate all the.
yeah, so I try to tell a story. A lot of my projects are conceptually based, and so you might have different skits or different stuff just to push the story along or get people laughing or whatever. Because I like to use the skits to kind of show my personality in different ways.
That absolutely makes sense. I like it.
What you feel accomplished after you dropped those two projects?
After
Were you pleased after you dropped them?
After the Billionaire Black Boy and Scott Bailey versus the World?
Yeah. Like what were did any I know you've always been real serious about it, like this is what you wanted to do. You have your whole rollout plans for everything you do. You're down to every last detail. You're real OCD like that. But was it like that back then, or were you just doing it because you were
it's
doing
always
it?
like, okay. So Scott Bailey versus the World is actually the project. If the Billionaire Black Boy was responsible for me starting to get acquainted with the blogs, Scott Bailey versus the World was responsible for pretty much what like the whole 3V thing turned into, or what we made it. Because I put that project out, and my brother and business partner, Matthew Lyles, was another dude that we ran kind of in the same circles with some different friends. But he went to Westside and Gary.
Okay.
And I went to Maryville. And so he had been seeing me online.
Excuse
Like,
me for a second.
yeah,
What happened? He went with?
he went to Westside.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, thanks.
That part.
Oh, thanks.
He had been like just checking out my stuff online when it would drop. I think like we actually met on Twitter.
Twitter made a lot of connections in that era. 09 to like 2012.
Yeah.
That 3 years, you could make a lot of connections on Twitter.
Yeah. But I had met him through Twitter. He hit me up one day after the Billionaire Black Boy project came out, and was like, "Yeah, like I see like potential in what you're doing. I like what you're doing. What do you need to make your music go further?"
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, well, I kind of want to, at that point in time, like I thought like if I got a big DJ or somebody to host my project, then that would put me on and everybody would see it. So I knew these DJs from, at that point in time, Bloomington had this boutique called Dope Couture, which turned into Dope.
Okay.
But a couple DJs that work with them.
They're the ones that's dope right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been seeing that.
Yeah. They I was on their site and they like sponsored at that point in time like a lot of clothing brands and different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Were sponsoring projects and doing different things. So I had reached out to them, and then I saw like some other projects that they had worked with. They had these DJs, Willie Joy and DJ Benzie, who I know Benzie had did some stuff for like Mike Posner and Big Sean.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, obviously like it worked for them. So let me reach out to them and see if they'll host this project. So I reached out to Benzie. And I was like, yeah, like I'm trying to get you to host my project. How much does it cost? So I think Benzie, don't quote me, but at that point in time, he was like, yeah, like I need 2,500 me and Willie Joy to do it, do the drops and all that, and put your project out.
Okay, so this is for your entire project, right?
Yeah, that was for Scott Billy versus the World.
Okay.
So I ended up telling Lyles, and then Lyles was like, okay, we're gonna get that done. And so I worked on this project the whole time when I came home. That was like the first time that shout out to, well, now he's Ronnie Tech, shout out to Mac Tasty, aka Ronnie Tech. He produced a lot on Scott Billy versus the World.
Ronnie Tech.
Shout out to Dom, all of my early producers that outside from myself that worked on that project. And so I finished the project, we put it together, got the artwork, and then I hit Lyles and he was like, okay, yeah, like he helped me put everything together on the business sense of it. And then Boy J obviously helped me put it together music-wise. And then I told Lyles, like, okay, well, this is what it is for them to host it. We came together, got the money up, paid for that, and then put that project out. And then that turned into, how can we just keep making this bigger?
Mm-hmm.
So then from there, we ended up forming a whole partnership LLC. And that's when we created 3B Entertainment, which started off from the whole Billionaire Block Boy. Shout out to Rob Bill's tape.
That part. So where we at right now? Look, I see you. I need to see that again. The camera didn't see it. They don't need to see it. I see it.
And I think that was around, what year was Scott Billy vs. the World? That was 2012?
2011.
2000. Okay, so yeah,
we
2012.
Okay.
That's 2011. And then after that project, like I said, like it kept building with the blogs.
Mm-hmm.
At that point in time, shout out to mostly Junk Food, because they were real heavy supporters in the beginning as far as that whole project.
Then you moved on rather quickly.
Yeah, like I think I put out an EP in between that, and then started working on Weekend in Las Vegas. And Weekend in Las Vegas,
April 27, 2012.
yeah.
That part.
So
I let a clip in the left. I don't even understand.
in that year, me and Lyles just sat down, and I was in real heavy with Boy J as far as making music and coming up with different stuff. All of my producers were sending beats. I was making beats. And I forgot exactly what it was.
Yeah, because June 13th, 2011, Scott Bailey versus the World drops,
Mhm.
And then a year later,
and then not even a year later, you're coming back around 10 months.
oh, I remember
Yeah.
Weekend in Las Vegas.
Yeah, 10 months with a which was your biggest project to date, your most polished project to date, your most
At that,
yeah.
At that point, yeah. So that project, well, we'll get there. So in that, say, like you said, 10 months, we made this whole project, which was Weekend in Las Vegas, which I forgot exactly what made me think of the concept, but it was kind of like I wanted to. That's when I was like coming to like having the ideas of, man, I want to go to LA. I want to go to
Mhm.
somewhere like that.
That why you
And
spelled it all fucked up.
I spelled it like that because it was supposed to be a.
I always wanted to
it's a-
know why you misspelled it because it always bothered me. Like
because
this mother. I know he's not
listen,
stupid.
I explained it in. Was that another week? In another weekend in Las Vegas.
I'm like, I know he's not fucking stupid.
Nah, it's not. It's
Know how to
supposed to be
spell Las
Los.
Vegas.
It's supposed to be Los Vegas. So it's a combination of Los
That
Angeles.
is Michael.
It's a combination of Las Vegas and Los Angeles.
Okay.
And so I just
You gotta
combined
cut
those
the
two.
host mic off though. I'm sorry.
No, you,
Just go. I'm sorry.
no, yours ain't cut off. It just shows like that because.
No, I'm talking about cutting yours
Oh, no,
off.
no, never.
What you said, yeah.
Oh, but go ahead.
You missed all that.
No, but it was it's a combination of those two places just because, like I said, at that point in time I was thinking of like what is a place that I would think to go as far as vacation and just getting away from everything that was going on at that point in time
Okay.
in
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
for me
Yeah.
in this area. And so I made up Las Vegas, and that's how the whole concept for that came about. And so we put these songs together. I think it was like 18 songs.
Yes.
Was it 18? Yeah.
And you had some nice features on there
GLC was on there on the market.
with Boldy James.
And Boldy James.
Shit, Boldy James put out one of the best projects of the year this year.
Facts. Shout out to Boldy. Still don't.
Another Alchemist project.
There's so many artists I need to know. I be hearing the names. but I
Boldy, yeah,
don't-
shout out to Boldy. Boldy from Detroit. He's with Griselda now, isn't he?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's yeah, like I said, this was your first big, your first big project.
I linked
Like-
up, yeah, for that project, like I linked up randomly out of again from Twitter. Linked up with them we linked up with Live Mixtapes through Twitter because I guess one of the dudes that owns it just happened to be going through blogs and different stuff and saw some of my music and then hit me up and was like, hey, you want to do a project with Live Mixtapes?
Were you still writing at this time, or
Yeah, I'm still writing.
still writing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was very backpacky.
Yeah, it was.
Definitely,
Skateboard.
I didn't skateboard,
You didn't
but
but you wanted to.
I like I said, like
You
I
went to
was
go look at a couple of them, didn't you?
I was like at that point in time, like I was a perfect fusion of Lupe Fiasco, Kid Cudi, Kanye, just the way I was just doing my voice and inflecting stuff. Like I hadn't really found my voice yet, but
It was on its way. You were on
it was
your
on the
way.
way.
You knew where you wanted to go. You were just having trouble getting there.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that album, I guess you could kind of say it was an album, because the way that it hit the blogs, like you came along at that time right when you needed to come along, you know, to grow with the blog, so to speak. and it was critically acclaimed on the blogs. A lot of blogs picked up it, and they all loved it. Did it? What was your realistic? What was your realistic goal with releasing it? And did you reach that goal or exceed it?
At that point in time, like I didn't really understand, I guess, like how the music business kind of works or the business side of things. And so, I mean, a big part of why this did what it did, well, why Weekend in Las Vegas did what it did, is because of my publicist at the time, this girl Anastasia Wright from New York.
Okay.
At that point in time, she had an independent PR boutique called IMG Agency, but she was like marketing. She was in marketing and PR for like the labels and different stuff.
Okay.
So she had a bunch of different connects, and I got connected with her through my guy Zach Gibson, who shot a couple of my early videos.
Okay.
And so she was doing my PR. She showed love on the price because, like I said, she was just picking up different artists, and it just so happened that, like I said, like it was kind of like the perfect storm of everything, where she was in a certain space at that certain time, and I was putting out this music, and she was able to get it to all these different people.
It was meant to be.
Yeah. And so the project comes out, like I said, Live Mixtapes reached out and said they wanted to have host it, so they threw me on the main page, gave me the countdown thing for free. So a bunch of people saw it like that. My PR had everything kind of going crazy as far as like press and all of that. Like I actually, me and Lyles, first time going to New York, we went out to New York for the release, like the week before the project came out. Sat down and did press with like Fuse. Met with like MTV.
Yeah.
I met with Universal. Based off of, we had a listening session. I forgot, Engine Room. We had a listening session in Engine Room in New York, and there's a couple of A&Rs that were there, and we played some of the songs. And then shout out to my guy AJ. He was the A&R consultant that was there. I was like, yeah, come to the office tomorrow. And so we came to the office, sat down, ran through the whole project with Universal beforehand. I actually ran through it with AJ, and I forget the dude's name. I actually saw him not too long ago on an episode of Drink Champs. But I guess he was the A&R that signed Cudi to Universal.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so what I'm learning from you tonight, and this is not to cut you off, I done learned so much about you.
Yeah.
Things I didn't even know.
No, yeah. A lot of people don't necessarily know like all the extra stuff because we didn't even really talk about it. Like I posted like a couple different pictures just showing that I was at the office or whatever.
So you go and you release basically what is your first like real for full length project,
Right?
Yeah.
And this is what you're rolling in. You're virtually a nobody,
Right.
and you're rolling it out like you're a straight professional,
Mhm.
and everything's falling into place for it to be presented that way to these A&Rs and these labels and such.
Yeah.
Mhm. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I mean, I never knew any of this about you,
Mhm.
you know. So
I mean, yeah, I think I've only talked about that maybe one other time on a totally different interview.
well,
But
you're
I
streaming
figured-
like.
Only one time, you know,
Well,
like
now you're talking about a lot because you're streaming to like 5 different platforms right now.
so. You only wrote it out for a year, but it wrote out very well.
Yeah.
Like you wrote it out like exactly how you wanted it to.
Mhm.
Then you basically, I guess you could say, well, personally I don't know, but I can imagine you're where you want to be.
Mhm.
You know, as a new artist, navigating fully in house.
Mhm.
Yeah, like it really was what you would want like your independent operation, I guess, to be. Even though like we didn't know what we were doing at that point in time.
Okay.
We really were just doing trial and error outside of Anna because she
But it
kind of had
worked.
been in it. Yeah.
But it worked.
I mean, it did, but there was still trials and errors where like those first few projects I feel like were a lot of our trial and error. Where it's like,
but you know, nothing is perfect.
Right.
Perfection ain't even perfect.
Right.
So
I mean,
it worked.
Yeah, like, and even in the process of Weekend in Las Vegas, there was still other stuff that I feel like we could have did. We all felt like we could have did different stuff better. And at that point in time,
you also learning as you go.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
And
at that time, you're not thinking how you're thinking now.
Right, and that getting into what I'm about to say, like this is kind of like that was like a peak. I feel like there was two different peaks that kind of go on from the beginning to now. And so it was a peak there where it was like, okay, we just left Universal. We walked over, like you leave out of Universal and then you walk down the hall and then now you're in the Def Jam office.
Exactly.
So we walk in there, she introducing me to people in there. And then after that, like we sat down and kind of like the dude, like I said, the A&R that was sitting there talking to us, kind of told us like how deals work and this is what I'll be looking at. But if we go back and had a bigger buzz, then you talk about leverage and all that different stuff like that. So I'm like, okay,
you got to build your buzz.
Yeah. So
basically, that's what you come out.
They were listening to. That's why it's funny to me a lot when I look online and I see different artists out here be upset about like people critiquing or feeling like, okay, this person is better than this person and this person is this. It's everybody's opinion. Because I literally had to sit at that point in time, I'm sitting there thinking like, oh, my project is good.
Yeah.
Because of what I'm seeing online, I'm getting posted all these different places. People are seeming to like it. And then I sit in this boardroom, conference room with the person that signed one of my favorite artists. And he's listening to my project. And I probably had like 18 songs. And they're literally like no sugarcoating, just, okay, this one is cool. This one is all right. That shit is trash. This one got some potential. You could probably build something with this. You could work with this. This one is trash. This one is trash. I don't like that one. Okay, what do you got going forward? What's next? And I can't just be sitting there like, oh, well, fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
So we just sitting there like, okay, I take your critique. It is what it is. We finna go back home and continue working and keep building whatever we gonna build. Yeah.
What so you get home and the project's out. Project writing.
Project is out. At that point in time, I'm doing life was pretty good at that point. Yeah, like I had a really good job, so I was making a decent amount of money. When we went to New York, that was my 21st birthday.
Oh shit.
And so that was my first time like going in a club and different stuff like that.
I ain't even been
in New York.
Yeah, like I remember us going. When we were out there. They took me to some club and they were trying to get us to get a table and a bottle. And I remember being like, "What the fuck are y'all talking about?" Because it was like, "Yeah, we want you to get this table and this bottle," but the bottle was like a bottle of vodka.
What the fuck?
And so the combo of both of those was like $800.
I was gonna say, how much did they want for this?
They wanted $800.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah,
some back of y'all.
Yeah.
So swoop.
They wanted $800 for the sweat.
Right, for the sweat. Swoop.
So no, go ahead. No, but I forgot what I was saying.
You're in your club.
Oh yeah, I was just sitting there talking about like the whole
$800
going out there.
bottle.
Yeah, that was my first time.
So you're probably like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
oh, thank you. Can I get a glass?
Yeah, we said me, Lyles, Anna, and I think maybe there's a couple other people that was with us. We fucked the table. Like we just gonna sit over here by the bar for a minute. I don't even think we stayed in there for like 30 minutes. We just were in and out. They just wanted to take me somewhere.
Okay.
So after that, we come back home. And like I said, everything was kind of good at that point. Like I had a really good job.
You're a blog celebrity.
The blogs were definitely supporting. I was dating a person at that time, and that whole situation kind of
diminished.
It eventually diminished, but it fucked up a lot of different things life wise early.
Ew.
Looking back,
you got to go through it sometimes, nephew. I mean, you know, you got to go through it when you don't want to go through it.
I mean, I agree.
You don't know what's going to happen. It's good to get it out while you're young.
Somebody once told me that, I don't know what the saying is, but they talk about like how love kind of goes in 3 or whatever.
Yeah,
you have like your first love is kind of like you.
Exactly. I know. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't remember exactly wording,
how it breaks it down.
But yeah.
But I have seen that, at least for me personally, like that whole situation kind of.
You love 3 people.
Yeah.
You have 3 loves in your life,
and
each one for a certain reason.
Y'all done sent me to a loop over here. I'm sitting over here standing at the water bottle in space and shit. Like, in my feelings and shit right now. Y'all about to make me make some phone calls. Start texting. What you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm married now, bitch. Shut up. Don't bother me.
You're gonna get me in trouble.
2 of
Why you answering?
2 of them. I quit.
Oh shit. So the relationship.
Yeah. So.
And your stuff kind of plays out publicly because of the music.
Yeah.
And social media. in ways.
Bill is over there digging. You see him?
I'm not digging. I'm just remembering.
I mean, there was a lot going on at that time.
I mean, here it is. Hold on, I'll get into it because I had to look it up. We only fall in love with 3 people in our lifetime, each for a specific reason. Only Friday Night Live with G. Scott would end up including something like this.
This is beautiful. I love it.
It's gorgeous.
The first love, the love that looks right. It's been said that we really only fall in love with 3 people. The first one, we were young in high school even, is the idealistic love, the one that seems like fairy tales we read as children, and then we're like, what the fuck?
Absolutely.
Type shit, right?
Exactly.
It's a love that looks right, but it's not. Your second love, the hard love. It's supposed to be our hard love, the one that teaches us lessons about who we are and how we often want or need to be loved. This is the kind of love that hurts, whether it's through lies, pains, or manipulation.
But you gotta let it go.
Yes. And then the third love, the love that lasts. And the third love is the one we never see coming. The one usually looks all wrong for us and destroys any lingering ideals we clung to about what love is supposed to be.
Big facts.
So what if you still don't end up being with that third love?
I don't know. I'm glad that I didn't get to that point.
Hey, yeah.
But
I mean, it's a legitimate.
That's true.
See, I think we need to have a male versus female conversation on this because
I mean,
I don't know how men.
So what happens? So what happens when you have your third love? Like, shout out to Critical. He's like, damn, guess I'm done with love. Had my 3. I'm over here. I'm over here. Like, I think I had my 3. So so is that it? I'm gonna be the old man yelling at kids for walking across my lawn or some shit.
I don't know. I really I thought about.
I already yell at rappers,
but I feel like it doesn't necessarily have to stop at 3. I yell at rappers. That's what you're gonna do for the rest of your life. Just yell at rappers.
I love when he yell at rappers.
But
I hate you right now.
Now you're riding high on the blog love and everything, but it's not really translating to any real world shit that you would think. You ain't got the car yet. You ain't got no jewelry.
Okay, so I didn't have a car necessarily because of music, but I did get a new car. Well, I'm trying to figure out how to tie that together because this is around the time of me coming into straight slamming.
Shout out to the Edge.
Yeah. So,
what year is this?
This was leading up into Weekend in Las Vegas, so this is 2011 to 2012.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was supposed to have
2012 to 2013.
Okay.
Because Weekend in Las Vegas came out in 2013.
Yeah. So somewhere along the line of me coming back, I was going to work. I remember being on Facebook and going to work and then getting off of work, and I had a Facebook message from Fred that said,
And this was after you dropped, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
this was after the
You
project.
still got it? You still got that message?
Yeah, I still got it.
Screenshot the hell out of it.
Probably not because his Facebook
No,
profile
I
gone.
got
It's still there. It just got no
I
picture.
have a picture.
Oh, you have a
Yeah,
picture?
that's
He's like, I took a. Could you even
Just-
screenshot back then, or did you take a picture of it with another phone, or did you take a picture of your
Probably
laptop?
right,
Like,
exactly.
At that point in time, like I wasn't thinking about that, but I mean, recently when I was just sitting there going through different stuff and talking about the story with somebody else, I had pulled up the message to show him,
Okay.
and just explaining like how I thought certain situations were gonna go, and then from there, then I saved it just to save it, and then I guess he deleted his Facebook or
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah, because I thought he had personally deleted me.
So,
Yeah.
the project you start working on. Oh, okay. Weekend in Las Vegas was out.
Mhm.
Dope.
Yeah.
And then now you're working on what is your debut album, I guess you could say. Technically
I mean,
speaking.
I guess.
I mean, if you're looking at how it was released on platforms.
Okay, so coming up on a follow-up project to Weekend in Las Vegas, like I said, like it was a whole coming up and getting connected with Straight Slamming and all of that. Like I said, everything started off good, and then this whole relationship that I was in.
Let's get down to the straight slamming shit, because a lot of people didn't even know.
I did. I absolutely.
Which is hilarious because we had like a whole
And the people that know wondered like what happened, why anything never came about it. You know, where was the song with you and Fred? Was there ever a song? Why wasn't there a song? What the fuck happened? Let's get down to it.
Please.
Let's get to the shits. Young Gerald. What happened?
like I said, like I got a message from him one day that
From
kind
who?
of from Fred.
Okay.
That was just kind of like, yo, I see what you're doing. I'm coming home next week. Like, let's sit down and talk. Let's make the movement bigger. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So in my mind, like I was thinking like at that point in time, like the only thing I could really compare it to was Wiz and Mac Miller, kind of like in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
where it
okay.
was
There
like,
you go.
Okay.
Wiz was kind of like the more known artist at that point, a bigger artist. But
Yeah.
Mac was buzzing real heavy on the blogs and different things like that. So it was kind of like, okay, let's bring this whole thing together for the city and do whatever.
Okay.
So from that, I think when did I actually come over there and meet? Because initially, like he came home, but I didn't get a chance to meet him. But then Edge had reached out to me,
Mhm.
and then I ended up going over to the house and meeting up with all of them over there.
Yeah.
Fred wasn't there, but I met like I think that day was like Edge, Skurlock might have been there. Were you there that day?
I believe I was.
Okay. Yeah, so I went there and then talked to Edge, and then I believe I got a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's what happens. Get a hoodie or a t-shirt or something,
Yeah.
and boom, there you go.
Yeah.
I got a
So-
sound. Just want
So,
to go there.
Yeah, so from there, I guess it was like, yeah, like so you're gonna be running with us, you part of Straight Slamming. And from there was kind of like just random stuff, just kind of
Random shit.
just
Start
started happening. So
Give us an example of something random.
so example, like I was in this relationship, but the person I was with really wasn't the greatest. They were
Loose.
partaking in some different activities
She said loose.
Loose.
that they
She was fast ass.
I mean, you trying to sugarcoat it, but bitch, she was loose.
I mean,
How loose is your
anyway. Anyway,
I'm good.
so from that situation, like I was young and I was sitting there like trying
Boy, she
to
loose.
I was trying to police different situations.
Okay.
He is not going to
And
answer. She was the one who just said.
Shout out to the media training.
That part. I'm not going to press the issue at all. Tell me after we get on.
But like I was just focused on trying to keep up with them and make sure that they wasn't doing different things that they said that they weren't doing. And in the midst of doing that, kind of did some stuff at work that I messed up something because I wasn't paying attention to what I was supposed to be paying attention to.
You got fired.
And I got fired from my very good job.
You got fired for fucking up because you're
thinking about
pissed off about the loose bitch.
That was
so
straight snap.
You can have all the media training. I'll say it. You know,
so after I got,
you're mad because you weren't straight slamming. You weren't the only one straight slamming.
Leave me alone, Uncle Bobby.
He was mad because he wasn't the only one straight slamming.
So, all right, y'all. Keisha Kautiouz in the building. I'm about to be out here tonight.
So in the midst of me losing this job,
yes.
I had just bought a new car. I think at that time it was like a brand new Mazda 3. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, like but at that point in time, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get a brand new car. Please.
Absolutely.
So I got that, and I remember driving over to Edges, and this was the day that like Fred was actually there. So we went in. I was sitting there with all of them. I forgot what exactly happened, but I'm sitting in there talking, and I got ready to leave. And there was cars in the driveway, so I couldn't park in the driveway. I had to park across the street from the driveway. And so apparently whoever was at the house in the driveway, when they pulled out, they backed into my car door.
Wow.
And
straight slamming.
Yeah. Fucked up my whole side, both of my side doors. So I'm sitting there.
Wait. So somebody that was in the driveway backed out into your car
and then left.
They just left like nothing happened.
Wow. And messed up.
They messed up my car.
On the driver's side, passenger side?
Driver's side.
Okay. That's disrespectful.
Yeah. So
you could have hurt me.
So
you just go.
I go back in.
You go back in the crib, be like, "Yo, somebody
hit my car. What the fuck?" Such. And so like Edge really didn't know who had done it, or nobody really knew who did it. They kind of had an idea.
I got a clue.
But
I'm gonna quit for that, y'all.
Wait. So when they left, I think it was who was it? JR had hit me. And with J Real.
Rest in peace, J Real.
Yeah, R.I.P.
bro.
Real. He had hit me. He was like, "Yeah, like I know who hit your car. You want me to go get your money?"
That sounds like Jay. That sounds like JR for real.
Ooh, baby, let me tell you.
And so I'm sitting there like, nah, like I had insurance, like we'll figure it out, like such. He was like, nah, like if they hit your car, they need to come. I'll go get your money for you. So he went over there and I guess talked to whoever the dude was that had backed out. Dude didn't have any money, but he had like whatever he had in his pockets. JR, I guess, took from him and gave it to me. It was only like maybe $80-something or something like that.
Here's towards your deductible, bro.
Yeah. So he gave me that. So shout out to him forever for that.
Absolutely. R.I.P. J Real forever.
But that turned into me leaving and going home. And I was staying with my parents at the time. So I got to park in the front. My dad, they got their cars, they were parking in the garage. So in order for my dad to get to the garage, he got to drive past the front of the house in the morning. He was on midnights. So I go in the So I go in the house. I tell my mom what happened, and she just like, "This is not gonna be good, but we'll see what happened."
Mm-hmm.
And so I go to sleep, and he gets off of work and comes home. It was like 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, well, that was early.
Yeah.
How'd that turn out for you?
Yeah, I want to hear this.
He walked in my room, turned the light on.
You got a whooping.
Nah, they told me to get the fuck out.
You're gone, bro.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah, so
Your car got hit. You got kicked out.
Yeah.
Damn.
Shit.
So he told me to get out.
It was a bad week for you.
Terrible week.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So mind you that I still know what Shorty was doing.
Okay.
But I didn't necessarily have another place to go at that point in time. So, and we were still together. We were trying to figure out the situation. So I went over there.
You had to go deal with the little thought pocket. So come on.
You think that she got to behave if you're there?
Shit.
That's what you think. That's what you think.
Did you see me?
So I was over there. I stayed there for probably like.
She had to work over a lot.
She wasn't work. We're not gonna talk about it. Listen.
Have you recovered from that?
Oh, I'm fine. No.
Okay.
I mean, me like even in today's time. Like I talked to her last time I talked to her probably was like maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
And I mean, it wasn't a bad situation. So I mean, we both passed that now. I'm in a whole different space.
That's who I think it is, isn't it?
Huh?
Who I think it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say, did you come over there?
I don't even know about the inside shit,
so.
child. I just be trying to press and just trying to get some.
This was like, I think the only people from like.
You've only been with 2 people, 3 people.
I'm my third real relationship.
Yeah, since I've known. Yeah.
Damn.
So, yeah.
Wait, how old are you?
29.
Oh, damn. Only 3.
I said like actual real relationships.
Only 3.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, you 29.
But
you know what? I'm gonna say some prayers and bless the relationship that you're in right now.
No, I think the one I'm in right now is.
You think that's the one?
Yeah, that's number.
It don't matter what he thinks.
It's what she thinking.
It's up to Babs. Shout out to Babs.
Hey,
shout out to her.
Absolutely. Hey, shout out to her.
Shit.
But that's we locked in.
So you get kicked out the house.
She's CEO.
Yeah, she's my manager. That's my manager.
Okay.
You get kicked out the house.
Got kicked out the house. Have to go stay there. So I was there probably for maybe like.
So you homeless.
Basically, but I wrote Rich Broke.
And
Like
that's the project. That's the
day.
project that we're leading into.
Yeah,
which is one of my favorite projects of his.
So in the time of me staying there with her, there was a lot of that house was like a party house. Like constantly.
See, now we're getting into the music that's gonna get me kicked off. That's like literally what we're the area that we're moving into now.
Did you put we don't own the rights?
We don't.
I mean, I own the
this guy right here owns the rights to this shit.
Okay, right.
So I wrote this song literally like the day of me getting kicked out.
Oh shit! Before or after? After.
After, yeah.
Went home. You were mad, weren't you?
I mean, I had boxes in my car.
Did you drink an energy drink?
No.
Okay. Who did the beat?
Shout to Johnny Ammo.
Oh shit! Shout out to Johnny Ammo. I just smoked some weed with him last month in Vegas.
Nah.
He's living in Vegas now.
With Scarlett?
No, he got his own place.
Okay.
But that's all we could play because
man,
I'm not getting kicked off.
So
I need that immediately. Can you send me that?
It's on Apple Music.
It's on Apple Music.
That's what I get. That's what I use to stream.
It's on all streaming services.
Yeah, Tidal and Apple Music is what I use.
That song was called Rich Broke.
It's gonna be G Scott.
See, my favorite song.
That was G Scott.
My favorite song he's ever done. Well, my favorite song he's ever done is on that album.
And what's your favorite?
Falling Up.
I
don't know why. Like it was because what I was going through that time.
Okay.
In my life.
What were you going through?
What
were you going through?
I was falling up. Well, me and old girls had just broke up and shit, and like my life was like the only reason I like was here still in the state was because of this woman, and then boom.
I'm telling y'all ladies, quit breaking my brother's heart.
And then he drops the fucking he drops this album, and I'm like, okay,
Okay, so let me.
This is what's up. But it's fucking it's
And what's the name of that album again?
1983.
yeah,
1983.
Why is it called
okay, I remember
1983?
that. Yeah, he was
Because you
born.
were he was not born in 1983. He
Who
only
you-
29, girl.
Oh yeah.
91. I'm 91.
Yeah, so that's 8 years later. So
1983 was because when like I said, like when I went in and sat down with the labels and they were sitting there talking about what was I doing next, to how you gonna make bigger songs and this different stuff.
You want to make a bigger song?
Nah, I was sitting there thinking about, like, they want me to make radio stuff and different stuff like that. And in 1983, I believe, I forget the exact story now, but it was based on like Viacom doing something with the radio and how different stuff,
the transition.
how different stuff kind of turned into a monopoly of sorts. And so I was playing off of that and a bunch of different stuff that was going on in 1983.
Yeah, because coming in 1983, we had the VCR tapes.
Yeah.
So okay, and then it transition.
Yeah.
Okay, I hear you. It transitioned to VCR tapes. Damn.
He's he's a little talented.
Damn.
So that, like, looking back and listening to that, I feel like that was like when I started figuring out my voice.
Yeah,
for real.
I'm in my feelings right now.
Why?
Damn.
What is it?
He's yeah, that was his. Even though Weekend in Las Vegas was like, he got a lot of blog love and everything, this album, I think, I look at it as like, boom, here you go. This is when he started making songs. You know, he wasn't really so much of a rapper as much as an artist.
Okay.
You know.
And so, like, for this at this time, even before 1983 came out, like, in my mind, I feel like 1983 should have been, the goal was to push past Weekend in Las Vegas. But 1983 is also the point where this kind of like was a decline, because me and my publicist Anastasia at that time, we had fallen out because she was trying to get me to understand how to operate as far as like a business, and I was more so focused on, no, I'm just trying to get this in front of as many eyes as I can. I don't care about like the side of, okay, how is this gonna make money? I'm not thinking about like making merch and doing all the different things that an artist
Like a
needs
dumbass.
to do. Yeah, I mean, but I was, I think 20, like 22.
It was for the love of the music, man.
Yeah,
I wanted to rap because I'm a rapper.
yeah, and so
I got all these raps in my backpack.
Right.
Why waste them?
So we bumped heads and we fell out. So she didn't work this project. So I literally had to do this, along with, at that point in time, my day-to-day manager was the dude Kane. Lyles was still there. Who else was around? DJ Textbook, Boy J was still engineering and different stuff. And I remember, like, right before, I feel like right before every project, something happens that lets me know that I'm kind of in the right direction.
Okay.
But not fully there yet. So not a lot of people know this, but right before we put out 1983, my manager Kane, we had been working a lot heavy with this other group, the Proletarians, at the time. And we had did like a little tour with Chance and the Proletarians, like a college tour in the area, between Indiana and Illinois.
Okay.
And so one day I'm at the house, and Kane just happened to be there that weekend, staying, like, we were working on the project. And we get a call from this guy named Jeff Vaughn, who at that point in time was an A&R for this label APG, which is like a subsidiary kind of sub label of Atlantic.
Okay.
And so it's funny. I always say it's funny now because they were.
You all right?
No, I'm looking at this spider.
There's a spider?
Yeah, it's a spider. He was coming down on Gerald. Then he went back up.
Where is it?
It's,
What the fuck?
just keep going. Keep talking. Yeah, you gonna die.
So we sitting there.
I seen her looking up. I can't stop laughing because she was just looking up.
Are you sure it's not Ash?
I was listening to you, but
Yeah,
no, that wasn't no ash, bro.
yeah, I think you're seeing the smoke soot
No.
because there was some coming down right here too.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But you on live on the video looking like
I know,
you're
but
crazy.
good.
I was like, what is she doing?
I'm looking for well, goddamn it, y'all. It
That's
was something
why
right here. Shit.
Ah.
The hell, I don't do insects.
Hey, Friday Night Live, we're informative and funny.
So okay.
Go
So,
ahead.
But no, time out. You gonna try to make me sound crazy. It came over here first. Then it went over.
Well, spiders can only go up and down. They ain't swinging.
No, listen.
It's not Spider-Man.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. It came. I'm sick of this shit right now. Go ahead, just Scott.
So-
Young Gerald. I'm sick of this shit.
You gonna laugh, right? So so Jeff Vaughn calls and it's kind of like the same conversation we had before, where he's kind of asking like what we got moving forward, what are we doing, and we're sitting there saying like, yeah, we're working on this 1983 project. It's about to come out.
Okay.
What I didn't know at the same time was, which is it messed with me for a long time because I was like, man, maybe I missed my opportunity.
Maybe you
But
did.
the same time that they were calling these people, they had just signed or were reaching out to like Thug at that time.
Okay.
And I know Kehlani they had reached out to her because I later went on to kind of like meet her and she talked about that. And so I was like, oh, so these were the same people. But yeah, so it was like, okay, they were kind of looking and trying to see who was doing what and kind of like who had their structure or whatever in the right place, and they were going to be doing something moving forward. And so from that, like we put out the 1983 project. I didn't have the same push that I had with Weekend in Las Vegas because I didn't have the same PR. A lot of blogs still picked it up, but it was nowhere, like I didn't have the same type of press coverage because I mean a lot of that stuff came from, like I said, my PR at that time.
Okay.
So
So you can tell the difference.
yeah, like while people still went and got the project, it wasn't like I didn't have those.
It wasn't an improvement over
what
the
we
last
Not
one.
like it was.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And so from there, it was just like that project. A lot of people like it, but I don't necessarily
I love
think
it.
like. I mean, it for me at this point, it's kind of like just
Like
there.
I would have like if I'm looking at it as something that you're putting out, and let's see, I'm looking at it. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 singles right off the bat.
So 1983.
Yes.
Which one was you?
Four Finger Rap Ring,
Okay,
Fool's Gold, Rich
Fool's
Broke,
Gold.
and Falling Off.
Okay.
I mean, Fool's Gold still does well because shout out to Neomza, but
Yeah, because she's
She-
gotten
she's
bigger and bigger through the years.
yeah.
And what's her name?
Neomza.
Okay.
She was the singer. She was the singer on my song "Fool's Gold."
And she linked up with Mac Miller, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
She
That
signed.
part.
She signed a Mac off of a YouTube cover.
Yeah. You signed her to a deal after watching her on YouTube.
Yeah.
Crazy, ain't it?
And so the first time we went down to A3C, she was with us.
Gotta love
And
the music
so-
business.
And when did you go to A3C?
First time I went to A3C had to be after 1983. So was it 2013?
2013 it came out, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Somewhere in
Okay.
there. Like probably like that October, because that's when we went down there. That was my first time like getting a chance to perform at a festival type thing like that.
How did you like it?
It was dope. Like we planned for it. I had some friends from college that were in a band. I called them, was like, hey, I need a live band for this event. And so
I don't mean to cut you off, but I gotta say this. With the A3C, y'all, don't be exclusive to all these other sidebar events. Actually get involved in the festivals and everything that's going on. They had a Juneteenth. People out there, even though it ain't Juneteenth at that time, but they have those type of people out there that's giving some history and all that. So get into it with everybody that's out there. Everybody out there. Everybody. A3C. That's like Jack the Rapper.
All of them.
Jack the Rapper all over again.
A3C, South by Southwest, like those experiences were just you can do so much in such a short amount of time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So big question. What happened to 3 years between the next project? Why such a layoff?
You talking about between 1983 and Another Weekend?
Yes.
What happened in between there?
I know what happened, but a lot of people might not know. Like,
what are you?
Well, that's you're supposed to answer the question.
I'm trying to figure out what are you getting towards?
Okay, so
what happened?
It's been a big gap. It was a gap.
Like 1983 came out, and you know it didn't do exactly as well as you thought it would.
I mean, in that time, like I had moved to Los Angeles for a minute, and that was a whole another situation. Like I had finally left the relationship.
Yeah, because me, you, and Vision all left roughly around the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to San Diego and they went to LA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vision's the only one left out there.
That still stayed. Around that time,
I'm not. Shout out to Vision.
I finished we put out 1983, and then after that, like there was some situations where the guy that I said was my day-to-day manager at that point, it was looking funny with some money that might have been trying to get taken. And so we let him go. And then I got out of the relationship that I was in at that point. And
all right, so stop right there real quick. One question that I need answered before we go on to the heading to LA. Okay. To what you thought was Manifest Destiny, right?
Right.
Okay, so there's something we glanced over it, kind of he told a little story, but we didn't get the definitive answer and what exactly happened and what went wrong and why nothing came out of the straight slamming partnership type thing.
Was it a partnership or was it y'all had some type of agreement?
Yeah, it was more so about
he was just a part of the clique.
Yeah. And so
type shit.
But the way that we looked at it, or the way it was kind of like explained and brought to me was kind of like we were trying to, like I said, like do some Wiz Mac Miller type.
Yeah, strength in numbers type shit.
Like I see what you're doing. And I want to say I definitely got to say shout out to Archie, because Archie has been looking out for me.
Shout out to Arch. You know, I want to do a Friday Night Live to Arch. Arch, if you ever watch any of these and you come across this, I want to message you too, son. But
he definitely needs to.
I want a Friday Night Live. You want to do a Friday Night Live? I'll even come to. I can come to LA and do it if you don't want to. I like to do everything in studio, but if you want to come out here, come out here. If not, I'll come to LA. We can do it, or you could patch in and do it remotely. But that'd be dope.
I mean, but a lot of the stuff that happened in that situation actually wasn't even probably. Like Fred hit me up, but I don't necessarily feel like none of that was on his merit. Like a lot of that was because of Archie.
Okay.
When I put out, the reason that even any of that even got on the radar initially was because I put out the video for Folded back when I did Another Weekend in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And that's the video when I'm in like the laundromat and all that.
Yes.
Wayside. No. Look, I'm just saying. That's my favorite song. I don't do it out there, y'all. That's one of my joints. Oh,
But wait, let me. Okay.
okay.
So
because that's my.
so we got.
Wait, tell me, who did the singing in that?
It
It don't matter. Go ahead. Finish what you're talking about.
We'll get to that.
We'll get there.
That part.
But what was I saying?
I threw you off. I'm sorry.
The situation.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
Archie was the one that kind of like connected some different dots with different stuff. And so when I put out Folded, got on Fake Shore, and then they like Drew and Tad posted out on Twitter or whatever, and then Hustle Simmons had seen it.
Okay.
And so then he tweeted at Gibbs' account and was like, yeah, this dude's from Gary. You need to mess with him. He's making some dope music. So I don't necessarily think Gibbs saw that. Archie seen it.
Yeah,
And
makes sense.
when Another Weekend in Las Vegas came out, Archie took it and posted it on Gibbs' Facebook.
Okay.
Ooh.
And so a bunch of people picked it up from that too.
Okay.
Because he was buzzing, obviously. And like I said, Archie's just been looking out even after that whole situation throughout the years with different stuff. Anytime like he can think of something to put me in, bring me onto, like he'll reach out and
shout out.
Something. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the situation just didn't work out because I really don't know because I haven't really ever talked to Fred about the situation other than some different exchanges that may have happened.
Shout to Trill. Shout Trill. He's like, he said he's the one that he said he introduced you to the crew.
He actually, well,
who's that? Trail 90p?
Yeah,
no. Another Trail?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was the one that I'll say he was the first one out of that group.
Yeah.
That kind of saw what I was doing and then was like, oh yeah, he's dope. Like he was putting other people on to what I was doing and you were as well. So he definitely was one of those people. I gotta give that shout out. But going back to why I don't think it worked out, it just didn't work out because I don't ever have a definitive answer. I've heard different sides from different people. I have my own thoughts, but I've kind of gotten over that situation, so it's just like whatever.
But let me ask you this: you said you've been hearing different sides from different people. Do at least one of them sides sound accurate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
whose side is that?
It would probably be Edge. I don't know what the other stuff was because the other people had certain issues with Fred and all that. So I don't know if that was brought into it or whatever it was. But anytime that I know for a fact that like Edge always used to sit there and fight for the situation and try to be like, nah, you need to do right by them. You said you was gonna do this or do that and get it done.
I can say that because he that person. I think there's two sides that sound accurate though.
I mean, there's truth in all. There's truth in all.
Yeah.
I guess what is it saying? Truth in every lie, or something like that.
Yeah. It's all subjective.
Three sides to every story.
Exactly. Yeah. Your side, my side, the truth. All that.
There's probably truth in different things. I've seen different things where it's like, okay, that kind of makes sense. But I mean, like I said, like at this point, there's no real reason to have an issue with it because at the end of the day, it is what it is. So
that was your take with Straight Slamming.
Yeah. So after that, like, you kind of just slowly. I mean, Straight Slamming in itself kind of just slowly kind of dispersed. Yeah.
And
so,
then,
so wait, I went to Straight Slamming after all this bullshit was on. I got the bullet.
After all of that, like, I kind of just went on and went back to kind of like how I was operating anyway. Because even in that situation, it's not like it changed how me and my people were kind of moving. It was just like we were looking at that kind of like as something that was supposed to help. At that point in time, it was supposed to help the situation and bring more light to it, but it didn't necessarily do that. Like I got to go backstage at a couple shows and
Yeah.
That was it.
That was that. And then I mean, it
no
helped.
real connections, no sign, no.
Nah. And I mean, looking back, it's probably best that there was no paperwork or anything like that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So we did all of that, and
Paperwork is a
so
plus.
yeah. I mean, if the situation is good, then it work out
That's
for
a
you.
plus.
Yeah.
But considering there wasn't any,
Yeah, it wasn't like a thing where
enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We used it for when it first got announced and all that. Like my PR was like, well, this would be good for like press and different stuff like that.
Okay.
So we said like they put it out with the press and said like, yeah, he's with Freddie Gibbs, straight slamming or whatever, and a bunch of blogs and different places picked that up. And so again, like some Gibbs fans jumped on from that. But
he definitely got
when it came to like trying to do songs and different stuff, because he like Fred was actually supposed to be on Weekend in Las Vegas, the first one, but I guess again there's two sides to that story. One was they just didn't get around to recording it. The other was that he didn't necessarily like the song that I wanted him on, which was the song on their 9 to 5. And so when it came around again, I had reached out to Archie, and then I sent over. He was supposed to be on Rich Broke.
Okay.
And so we sent an open verse on that. And again, like I said, I was staying with the girl at that time. I believe I had left my jobs then because we had did the tour or whatever. And so we were staying down in Jasper, Indiana.
Oh shit.
Jasper. What's the zip code?
I don't know the zip code. I know
like 4-6, get the fuck out.
Yeah, like I know that the weekend that we were there,
463, get the hell out of there.
This is a place where they have German Fest.
German Fest.
And we went to German. Me and the girl I was with, and my day-to-day manager at the time, we were staying with his grandma in Jasper, Indiana.
So you was out there
that's a
dancing,
reality show.
And water dancing and shit.
That was an interesting experience. Yeah.
I'm
Wiener
sure.
Schnitzel.
Yeah, because we were probably the only black people there. Yeah.
I mean, so black.
Yeah. So we're sitting there.
Yeah.
So we go down there. Like I said, like I didn't have any money, and we were down there. Either we had just finished doing like the whole tour thing, or we were just about to start. I'm assuming we were just about to start because the whole reason we did the whole tour was just so we could ask me and the girl I was with could have some extra money. So we were doing like these different college shows, just either taking the door, or they would, if we could find a promoter, they would pay us up front $200 or something like that.
Okay.
So as I'm down in Jasper, like I literally probably had like $500 to my name. And so I keep trying to get this verse in for Rich Broke for 1983. And so I'm asking Edge, I texted Gibbs at that point, and I'm like, hey, can you get the verse back, such and such and such, because we got to turn the project in. Like, this is the last song that we're waiting on. So he keeps telling me he's going to do it. So eventually I'm just like, okay, I will pay for the verse. How much you going to charge me? Sitting there saying, no, you're supposed to be part of the camp and all that.
He said it's hitting you up.
But yeah, I wasn't necessarily getting the verse when I needed it. So I'm like, well, I got my $500 that's in my account. I will give that to you if you can get me this verse back. Like,
you still didn't get it
within the week or whatever. I'm still waiting for that verse.
Okay, so is it safe to say that's not gonna happen?
I mean, that's not gonna happen.
I mean, I'm just saying it might still happen.
This has been, what year was it? About 7 years.
Yeah.
She might just be
2000 and a long time ago.
Yeah.
So you might just be getting back around to it. No, okay, let me stop sticking up on this one.
But after that situation, I admit, like, I was mad at that situation for a long time, rightfully so, I guess, because it's like you took my last money and didn't help me with anything with this project.
Wait, not a damn thing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And so I remember coming back after we did everything that we did. We came back home. we put out 1983. It does what it does, and then I'm like, well, that I'm sitting there looking at all the different pieces that could have probably helped in this situation. So I was mad at myself. I was mad at that situation. I was mad at just a bunch of different things, and so I kind of like made the rash decision to just up and leave. After I got out the relationship, after everything that was going on, I was like, I gotta get out of it again.
Out to LA.
So I moved to LA for like almost a year. I was staying downtown LA with some different people who were at that point in time trying to manage me.
Okay.
And they had hit me like a while back because actually Rock had connected me with them the first time when I went out to LA. And so I shot a video for my song Penthouse when we went out there the first time. And the first time I went to LA was what sold me on LA, because just the people I was around, they were connected with a bunch of different people. So
it's not gonna be like that when you get out there finally. Though.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be like this all the time, and it was not. So we get to the point where I actually move out there now, and the people had been telling me all this time that, yeah, we're gonna manage you. We got this penthouse, we got this studio. I had been to the penthouse and studio before because they let me use the place to shoot the video. So we get out there. I'm thinking like the place that I'm staying is gonna be set up and everything. They sit there and I get there and I don't have a bedroom.
Okay.
It's a nice ass penthouse, 3 floors, downtown LA.
No bedroom.
7th Street, but I didn't have a bedroom.
No walk-in closet, no
Who took
nothing.
you there?
The 2 people that were trying to manage me, they had their own like a little production company that they were putting together because they did some different things with the labels as far as different artists. But I don't necessarily know all of what was true and what was false at that point. I know that they were paying like the rent was like $10,000 a month.
Shit.
So many people were living in this place.
Right. That's what I was
It
gonna
was
say.
initially it was just us 3.
Okay.
So it was the dude, his girl. They stayed on like the top floor, and then there was like a middle floor that was kind of like a lounge area, and that was the balcony looking outside. And then you had the bottom floor, which was like the kitchen. They had like an office space, and then they had like the studio that they had made in there.
Okay.
So when I get there, mind you, they hadn't told me anything about like how much money I needed or what. They just were adamant on me coming out there so we could work.
Okay.
So when I made the decision to go, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm just gonna get here and we just gonna create and keep working, and then I'll get a job or whatever and keep moving like that. So I get there, the first day that I get there, they tell me that, okay, I'm sleeping in this area, which like I said, the 2nd floor was like a lounge area. You had like a living room. Just picture like it might have been, the floor might have been the size of like this room to maybe where the studio door is out there or something like that.
Like 80 by 80 right there.
I mean, it wasn't a bad size.
Or 8 by 8, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like it was decent, but it wasn't a room.
Okay.
So they come and like how they got like the little fold out dressing room type thing. So they put that
Oh shit.
They put that in like this corner area. So my space probably was like the size of like literally like this. Like from that.
But at the time when you were starving artist.
Yeah, so I wasn't really tripping off of it. I'm like, okay, I'm here, I got a place to stay. Then they tell me that for this little space, my rent is $800 a month.
Shit.
I said $800 for this. Like I'm literally like in a box, sleeping on an air mattress, not even an actual room. And yeah, like I leave out, like I got the door behind me to leave out.
So when did they tell you the price of the rent?
When I got there.
Oh, they told
After he already arrived
After you already arrived
and
and
seen his
checked
little
in.
coffin room.
Right. And then they tell you?
Yeah.
So you went to sleep for the night.
Yeah.
And got the fuck up the next morning, got the hell up out of there, right?
No.
This part.
But what he did say was like, I'm gonna give you like 2 months to figure it out and get stuff together.
But the price still good enough.
I mean, he wasn't charging me for the months that were leading up to that. So like I got 2 months rent free basically, and then after that, then I got to come up with the money. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna figure this out. I had sold my car and all that, so I was living off of like maybe $3,000 or $4,000 until I got a job or something like that. So one of my homegirls, she was a manager at Zara in the Grove, and ended up getting me a job there doing stock.
It's a job.
Yeah.
And I think they paid like maybe like $14 just to do the backroom stock in the morning.
Per hour?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was doing that, and if you watch any of the other stuff that came after this, the suit that I'm wearing and all of that is actually my Zara work suit. But was working there for a while, but that didn't work out because I didn't have a vehicle down there, and a lot of this public transportation.
You gotta have a vehicle in LA.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And so
you didn't know?
I didn't. Because before, like I was sitting there talking to them and trying to figure out.
How old were you?
23. Yeah, so.
Yeah, you were way behind the times. You had 16-year-olds in cars in LA, so.
Oh, yeah. But from what I'm saying is like, in me talking to them, I was sitting there like, what do I need certain stuff like this? And they were like, no, you should be able to get around on like the train and which I did. I did a lot, but for me doing stock, it didn't work out because their public transportation shuts down at a certain point in
LA.
night. Yeah,
it shut down.
Like
and it shuts down at nighttime.
Yeah.
Do it?
Yeah. Not all the routes are 24 hours.
See, I've never been to California.
So
I'm in shock right now. So I know what I'm dealing with when I go.
I can get around during the day usually, but when it comes to like when I'm on overnight stuff and I gotta come in at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I can't necessarily get there, or I'm not gonna get there on time because I gotta wait for the bus. Then the bus has gotta take me all these different stops and then get to the Grove.
And boom.
So I kept being late. And one day they just came in and was like, "Yeah,
you can't be late no more.
You can't be late. So
that's it.
We gotta let you go."
You're fired.
The same day that I got fired.
It just fired you.
The same day I got fired, I go back to the penthouse.
Okay.
And they were gone for the day or whatever. So I'm in there, I'm just chilling, and I end up going to sleep. I get up the next morning, and dude comes in, and he's like, "Yeah, I got to talk to you."
Oh shit! He's breaking up with you.
So but
it's not you, it's me.
It wasn't necessarily my. He comes in and says that, unbeknownst to me before I got there, and they didn't tell me any of this, but they had a lawsuit with the owners of the building for noise complaints or whatever from the studio, and they lost the lawsuit. So they had to leave.
Was this an Airbnb?
No,
that's the okay.
This was
I'm following along. Go ahead, I got you.
So after they do all that, they tell me all of that. They're like, "Well, we're going here, but until we find a spot for all of us again, do you have some place that you can go?" At that point in time, I didn't have any place to go. The only people that I knew was, like I said, my homegirl that stayed in LA. But she stayed with her parents in the Valley. And then I had some friends from school here that stayed in Long Beach. And so the only other
that back home.
Yeah. And so I wasn't necessarily trying to go back home that soon. So I called my guy Pat, who was staying in Long Beach, and told him the situation. Him and Yali, they came out and got me, pulled up, put all my stuff in the car, and then we drove to Long Beach.
Hey, that's what's up though. I salute that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So we get to Long Beach, and I didn't know where they were staying in Long Beach. So we get to like these college apartments. And so it is me. How many people? It's me, Pat, YE, our homie Life, and then Pat had 2 roommates. So it was like 7 people staying in this 2-bedroom college apartment.
Ooh.
Well,
But
shit.
their college apartments were kind of decent size, but it was like
It's still 7.
yeah, like it's
y'all.
like 6 or 7. So
and
it's
it's
like
1 bathroom, right?
Yeah. So I slept on one couch. Life slept on another couch. We had like the studio set up in the living room. The booth was like under the stairs in like this cubby hole. Then they had like 3 bedrooms upstairs. So all the actual people that stayed there slept in their bedrooms, and then everybody else just was basically in the living room. But that was like that time right there literally is what probably helped craft my whole sound now.
The final product
Yeah,
of what became
my guy Life. He's a singer, and he was on like the melodic wave early.
Okay.
As far as different stuff. His dad actually is a singer himself, and is like one of John Mayer's guitarists or something like that.
Oh shit.
So so he he kind of helped craft like the whole new sound. Like I had only song that I had.
Melodic though. I do.
It was I had done it before, obviously, like as you heard in the beginning, but I didn't know how to do it to a certain level. And so the only song that I had that was really like in that vein that everybody liked was my song Mesmerized. And then he had heard that, and he was like, "Yeah, you need to keep doing that.
Keep doing that shit. That shit right there.
Yeah. So you keep doing that." So we did a whole little EP when I was in LA, where it was just me playing around with the melodic sound. That project is called Nostalgia 222. So it was like maybe like 7 songs of us just playing with the melody stuff. And so fast forward from that, everybody kind of split up in that situation. But being in LA with them, I was able to get around and meet a bunch of different people and
see a lot of different things.
Yeah, like Life and his brothers and Pat and YE and everybody, like they had gotten a chance to like meet or knew all these other different people just from being in the area, being around, and just being cool with people. So like I said, like Neoma's had moved out there too, so we ended up hitting her up.
Okay.
Her and this is when like Kaylani, I guess, had just signed to Nick Cannon.
Okay.
And so they were at like some apartment in Hollywood, and we ended up going over there, and I got a chance to like just sit down with them and vibe and make music. Well, see how they like. We were trying to do some songwriting, different stuff, and different things like that.
Okay.
And so just being around that was dope. A few people that I had met the first time we came when we went out there, I got a chance to relink with them at different parties and all that. But I didn't really get a chance to keep in contact with a lot of them just because once you leave LA, like you don't exist pretty much to people.
You're not there, then whatever.
Yeah, so
right. You left Hollywood basically.
Yeah, so when I came home, it was basically like starting back over. So I came home after everybody kind of went their separate ways, and I stayed with Boy Jay, and that was the beginning of the whole another weekend in Las Vegas phase, because that I had finally went to LA and I had finally drove on the bus ride home because I rode the bus back from LA.
Holy shit.
Right.
Bro.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it, like 4 days?
3 days.
3?
Yeah, fuck that shit. I will steal a car and drive straight through before I'll ride a bus again.
I rode the bus home from LA.
I did it from Denver. It took a day and a half.
It was 3 days.
I had an 8-hour layover in fucking St. Louis.
Oh, hell. 8 hour?
Yeah.
Look.
I'm like, I'm 4 hours from home. I gotta wait 8 hours.
You gotta wait 8 hours
before we even leave.
You on a bus, right?
No, I'm at the central station down there just waiting for a
train station. Okay.
So when I get back, come to Indianapolis.
Okay, I'm sorry, G. Scott.
No, you go to Indianapolis for like a day, and then I end up getting a ride to Oh, Chicago.
Okay.
And then
From that?
From that.
Okay.
And then I ended up staying with Boy J for like the next maybe year and a half, almost 2 years.
Okay.
Sleeping in his living room and then extra bedroom at a point, and turned that into the studio, and then we made the whole Another Weekend in Las Vegas project.
Oh.
Yeah.
That part.
And that project was like the kind of like the reinvention.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. That's
That's when I made
that's safe to say.
Yeah, Hennessy Lemonade and Mesmerized.
You said married? You married Hennessy Lemonade and what?
No, the song's name was Hennessy Lemonade.
Oh, that's what you made.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute.
I made
what?
the song Hennessy Lemonade. I made Mesmerized.
How did you come up with Hennessy Lemonade? Let's get on that.
Shout out to my homie Ruben, who at that point in time in Chicago was
shout out to Ruben.
He was like the brand ambassador for Hennessy at that point in time, I think.
Yeah.
And so
he's with Jägermeister now.
Yeah.
Hey, I like Jägermeister though. Just stop. Hey.
Yeah.
Me, I don't drink like the domestics. I like the red stripes and Jaegers and like I do like those. So anyway, so go ahead with this Hennessy Lemonade because I'm trying to figure out a new concoction.
No, Hennessy Lemonade was the wave. Now it's Douce Lemonade.
Douce Lemonade.
But,
Douce is already sweet though.
Douce is just smoother than Hennessy to me.
No, it's
just smoother Hennessy.
It's smoother, but it's sweet. See, look.
Come on, Hercules.
Shout out to my homie John.
Mm-hmm.
We're really gonna. Now we're moving into the territory that we'll really get.
Oh my God.
So Hennessy Lemonade is a product of me going to Beauty Bar with Boy J one Tuesday. And Ruben
Why
came
wouldn't
in.
it be?
Yeah, like shout out to Timbuk Tuesdays.
And you just gonna
Rest in
slide
peace,
into this
Timbuktu.
shit.
I mean, wait. So
Oh
so every Tuesday was Beauty Bar, Timbuk Tuesdays.
Yeah, rest in peace, Timbuktu.
R.I.P. Timbuktu. And Ruben used to come in there, or he just would go to all the clubs in Chicago on random nights. And he had like a Hennessy black card or some shit.
Yeah,
it was like
everything.
the company card or something.
Yeah, so it's free.
Yeah, so it's like
where did one of them from?
He worked for him, so he would just come to clubs and just buy a bunch of Hennessy drinks and hand them out to people.
Do you still work for him?
I mean, he with Jaeger now, so I don't know if Jaeger got
Oh, so that's a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Do he got a cousin?
Does he got a cousin?
That's where
I don't know, but shout out to Ruben. But he came in, and this one particular week, they were promoting Hennessy and lemonade.
You don't even want to bring it over here.
Shout out. No, well, they're not. They didn't pay anything, so we're not gonna shout them out.
Yeah.
That part.
But
that part, and I'm saying you gotta say nothing else.
He came in and made Hennessy lemonade and passed it out to us. And so I drank some. We all drank some. I was like, oh, this tastes good. So left that night. It was a good night. Everybody was lit when we got home. So Boy J and his girl go to sleep. I'm in the living room just working on music. And I started listening to Outkast, She Lives in My Lap.
Okay.
And then from there, I had this girl that I was talking to. She was coming in town from Indianapolis and she was going to stay the weekend. But she didn't smoke at that point in time. So all of that different stuff at that point in time culminated into me writing like the initial She rolling all
Yeah,
that
okay,
in the
yeah.
beginning.
I get it, Hennessy and lemonade.
Yeah, and so after that, then I ended up making a beat that night, and from there, then that turned into the whole song.
You did a video too, didn't it?
Yeah,
So she ain't smoke. Did she drink?
yeah, she drank.
She drank, but she didn't smoke.
She didn't smoke that time. Now
so,
she smokes.
So now.
Yeah.
But mentally, at that time, she wasn't where you.
I don't know if I could even look anything
Nah.
up on this computer because it's gonna start tripping out. It's so crazy. He was like, "You cannot do that." See, look, I hit Gene. It's like you're going to Gmail right now. Like I don't want to go to Gmail. I want to type G Scott, but I guess whatever. He's saved.
I gotta speed through this because it's like 11. It's like
Yeah,
11.
We had two. I told you 4 hours.
Yeah,
That's
another
what
week
we
in
are
Las
doing.
Vegas. Was you're reintroducing yourself because you kind of you fell off,
And so
and you're reintroducing yourself back home
with a different type of sound.
with a different type of sound,
Then I
different
had-
type of mindset, a more mature young Gerald.
And-
Now you're Sir Gerald.
Right. And so we reached out and kind of reconciled the situation with my PR from the first weekend in Las Vegas.
Okay, smart move.
Yeah. And so she worked at this project and I was able to get back up on some different blogs and different things, and it was received really well.
I like it more. I like the shit I heard tonight. I am like in shock right now because I'm mad. I know a couple of songs I heard, but I heard some things that I have not heard. So my favorite song from you is Wayside. What year was that?
That was what we made. I made that in 2017.
And y'all did the video the same year.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay.
that project.
You come back, and everything's fucking your new sound and.
At that point in time, like everything was going crazy, kind of.
And you're like you're starting to become more active in the area.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about when I said like now I'm coming out and
Yeah,
you might see me
doing shows.
Yeah, I'm
Because
doing
I seen
stuff
you
here
do a
too.
show.
You're
on the
accessible.
Alcohol shows.
you're accessible now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so that
You're mingling with the peasants.
Somebody could.
I'm not gonna say that, but
I said
you can say that.
I said
I can't say that
you're
either.
mingling with the peasants.
Bob Bill can say that. I can't say.
So I started doing different shows again because that was like a conversation me and Lyles had, where it's kind of like you need to
Reintroduce yourself.
reintroduce yourself,
Yeah.
go out and
Mingle with the peasants.
mingle with people, and and show your face.
Okay.
And and in the midst of me doing all that, then I was like, okay, this is cool. Like I want to try to bring everything
Yes.
together. So now I'm trying to do the whole me and Miguel and everybody started like that whole new 219 movement for me.
Yeah. How'd that go?
It's not around anymore.
How did that go?
Didn't really go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm
So
pretty
now
sure I
it
told
is
you not to waste your time.
I mean,
But-
a few people told me that. But
You don't like to listen.
I mean, sometimes I like to try
Hard-headed.
and see if I can get things done.
No.
Shout
And
out
what-
to everybody that's still tuned in, y'all. This is good.
Thank you.
So the new 219 movement that
Didn't work out.
the wave didn't crash. Well, the wave crashed without becoming too
Yeah, shout out to
too
Marco.
frothy.
I know Marco was on here for a second.
Mhm.
He made the original list.
But the
Okay.
but a lot of those people that were involved in that new generation, so to speak, they're still active today.
Yeah.
And they're kind of prominent. Of course, you being one of them.
Yeah, so a lot of what he did do was all the people that kind of those of us that were like actually like we don't really care about any of this other stuff, like we gonna keep working regardless.
Yeah.
So at that point in time it was like me, it was Archduke, Charity and Jacob, shout out to them. Who else was in there? That's along the time when me and Clark's bond had gotten a lot closer. But then we ended up falling off in between that.
But
But
y'all like
yeah.
up all this BS. But honestly, how do you feel about all these lists that are being made
I mean, at this point, I don't even care about the list now. Like none of that.
I ain't got nothing else to say tonight. Y'all can continue with the interview. I'm gonna sit back and relax right now.
We have it on a clock or a schedule.
Yeah.
Where every year at a certain point in time,
Somebody
like I said,
says
since Marco did it,
somebody gonna do
and
something.
it's been done before that. But the situation I'm talking about was when this was before I knew Marco. Like I know him now, but he put out this list, and it was really for marketing, like which was and looking back, it was smart because compared to all the other lists that came after it, that first list, which is what spawned all the rest of them, that shit went viral all over there.
First list?
Artist named Marco Uno.
Okay, he made the first list.
Yeah, he made the first list.
And this was in what year?
Yeah, that was like it might have been 2017. Okay. Somewhere in there.
Okay. But I think I got you because there was a million people on there.
Everybody started making a list like immediately after that.
And then that's when everybody started getting offended, like, why this person to put me on?
Yeah, but what people don't like, going back to what I said about like sitting down with the A&Rs and all that different stuff, none of that stuff ever really mattered to me. It was like if nobody could sit there and say anything about me at home. Yeah. Because looking at even now with Fred getting the Grammy nomination. Yeah. My entire time coming up, everybody was, who is Fred? Who is Freddie Gibbs? Who is this? Who is like nobody ever supports you, and nobody supports you at home until the rest of the world supports you. Yes. And so unfortunately, like I can, if I go on my streams or wherever I'm at, I got more streams in Chicago than I get here. Like they've gone up here since I was out and hanging with people. So sad, but before that,
a man of the peasants, I mean the people.
But before this guy, but before that, it really wasn't as high. Like I had Kelly higher than Gary was. I had Canada higher than Gary was.
It's probably like that for almost every artist out here.
Yeah, and so once you
Notice
do something,
I said artist.
Once you do something that other people view as something, then they'll come back and everybody is like, oh, he's from Gary, he's this, support, do this, do that. So I don't worry about
that's your cousin.
So I don't really worry about the list like that. Like make your list. Cause nowadays, like I feel like I'm in that J. Cole middle child space.
Okay. I can see that.
I'm somewhere now between the young generation, which I look at like my homie Rose, he's like my little brother. But he's in that younger generation and all his friends that they making music now. And they got the new wave and stuff, and then you still got the old people or the older generation that's doing stuff.
Go get some out of this cup.
You said the old people. I don't mean who are these old people you talking to?
I'm saying like the old generation.
No, who you call the geriatric, bro? No, real quick though. Speaking on the younger generation, I need to shout out Lil Baby. That Bigger Picture song, that song right there does separate a lot of things. Like, okay, us younger folks can't really get our hands speak on some real shit, you know. Yeah. So
and there's still even now in the area, like there's a bunch of artists that are still talking about stuff and
prolific.
Yeah, like they're still speaking about different things that mean something other than just making some drill trap, saucy ass shit. Yeah, bars, drilling, and there's good in you got your good and your bad in everything.
Yeah, that part.
So these 2 years leading up to your next release, that's probably your most homegrown, cultivated release. You know, you're working with
verses RP to Grotto. But Versus was made.
This was the album that has Keisha's favorite.
It's got Wayside on it.
Hey, I love Wayside. Hey, I like that whole visual of that. Okay, so I'm gonna try.
Hey, the people watching the show say they can't hear the music when I play it, which is weird because it's playing through the thing, but we could hear it.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Sorry, guys. I don't know why you can't hear it.
Facebook probably muted.
Hey,
but
come on.
This how long?
This?
When you
That's me.
That's you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jacob too. Jacob from Archduke. He did the background vocals for me.
Did you? Your recording process for every project is basically the same. You just record a bunch of shit, and then you start filtering it through till you get your
my core,
your
my track list or whatever.
Your skeleton. Then
the problem is that
start assembling it.
I feel like I've gone up on songs every project.
Well, because see, there's a lot of rappers out here, rap ass rappers, fuck them. But there's very few artists. You know what I mean? And I've said this over and over. And once you become an artist, and you know what you're doing, you know your formula.
Mm-hmm.
You know how to use your voice as an instrument. You know your limitations. You know exactly where to experiment, and you start piling up rather quickly. And the more and more you get into it, the older you get,
right?
The more you've fucking stacked up. How many songs did you record for verses before you started whittling them down?
I think
approximately
in between 40 and 50.
Okay.
Damn, that's a lot of songs.
Yeah. I want to say like that. I want to say it was more 40 for that project.
Damn.
Somewhere in there.
And how early into the process was Westside recorded?
Westside and Time were recorded like more towards the end.
Towards the end.
Because Jacoby, shout out to Jacoby from Glitch Realm. He produced that. And
let me intervene right there. I can't say more towards the end because when you sent it to me, I sent it later, it was later, yeah.
It was towards that might have been like one of the last songs I did for verses. Because like I said, he sent me some beats later on towards the end of the whole process. And
so did you know when you were writing it and recording it that was going to be the record from the album?
I thought it was a good record.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't necessarily, when I first started doing it, I didn't necessarily know it was going to turn into what it turned into.
Yeah,
but
and as you're at this point in your writing process, are you to where you are now? Are you to where you're just kind of recording till you get what you get, then you re-record it, or are you still kind of writing or hybrid or both? Where were you at?
This was the beginning of me starting to do more of the freestyle and the melody or whatever.
Okay.
Beforehand, but I think Westside, I did the hook before anything.
Okay.
And that was a result of me listening to the beat and then making the words to go with it. And then it just so happened to be one of the days where the way like the whole project was set up was my house kind of was, we like to compare it to what Outkast did with like the Dungeon.
Okay.
Where it was like I had a wall in my studio room that everybody that was an artist that came through and worked, they would come sign. Even though I'm not at that location anymore, I still got that wall in storage somewhere. But we had 1 million people come through over the process of me, over those 2 years of me coming up with this project.
Okay.
And this was one of the days where my homies Archduke had come through. They frequented my house all the time. We would always work on music and bounce ideas and different things. And they came over same day that I made Westside. And I played it for him, and it was like, okay, yeah.
It looked like y'all was having fun. Y'all was having fun in that video. That was
it was all
that was a liquor store y'all was in. What's that? The one right there up 169 in Haskell?
Nah, that's it's over. It's in Maryville, off of.
Oh, okay. I already know where you at.
Okay,
yeah. Okay, but I was looking at them like, look at them.
And I know there's a lot of people. It spawned a lot of good songs. And I know this is another one that a lot of people. Again, a lot of people for some reason they can't hear it on the other end, but we can fucking hear it. Options, of course. I'm talking about Options.
Hey, oh yeah, that one too.
Yeah.
Option. It's one of my favorites. It's probably in my top three. If I were to put them in any type of order, I guess.
I'm gonna have options.
But,
options is still moving around.
Just gonna keep dropping hits and hits.
Hits and hits and hits.
On my head and shit. I like that options. Like, fuck West Side. I got options now, you know?
That was weird. But yeah. So you're stacking these songs, you're going through them, you're forming, you're sequencing the album.
Mm.
You got it ready. Here you go. Boom, you're back. First album in forever.
Yeah.
New sound, new person, new look, new swag.
I take that. That's one thing I take away from like my Kanye influence. Like every project, I try to make a point to change something.
Okay.
Look wise a little bit. So like Weekend in Las Vegas, my thing was the 4-finger ring.
Yeah.
You weren't trying to mimic him, totally.
No, I'm just saying like Kanye kind of reinvents himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, more so early. What I consider good Kanye.
Yeah.
Let me give you a pump that.
Yeah, like
Kanye,
early Kanye has like I don't know if you've ever seen like the thing where they split them up and show like the different cartoon versions.
That part, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me give you a fun fact about the person that you adore.
What?
Kanye. Back in '94, Kanye was with a group called UFIU on the west side of Chicago.
I know about.
We used to tear their ass up. I know who fat on Kanye for real.
I believe I do too.
Okay,
R.I.P.
so, all right.
But
R.I.P.
That's not it. That's not who it was. Oh, see, we got. I want to know the other story then.
Several stories, but Kanye, shut up, boo.
But
thought you was running for MAGA.
Yeah, like after.
Hey, wait, for real. Kanye, shut up after this election. You ain't heard nothing else. Kim got a new baby daddy.
All right.
Okay, I quit.
We
I'm sorry,
you get the song, you get the album out.
Mm.
It's a whole different type of industry, different kind of climate. The blogs aren't important like they were when you sent your last project.
Mm-hmm.
You had to reformulate how the release was going to go. You're real OCD with your fucking plans and your rollouts and everything.
I mean, because that's just how I came up. Like,
well, that's good.
Yeah, you know? I mean, coming up, it was just everybody that was doing something and it was working. They all had a rollout plan. It wasn't like you're just throwing out songs and that's it. So, trying to readjust and come out of how I used to do stuff as far as like the blog thing and kind of realizing that nowadays it's sad because you got to do something different. Like you want the music to be the main thing that people care about, but they don't necessarily. That's not what's going to get a lot of people in. It's very rare.
They want a visual. They want some content behind it.
Whereas before, like I could make a song and then we shoot the video for it, and then I send it to some blogs and. Not like they posted it and I do 50,000 views.
But you know what? I'm in my feelings that they even doing y'all artists like this in the game, period. Because you don't see Kendrick on camera as much.
I mean, but they I don't even really know.
I think it's forcing y'all to be something else. You don't see Kendrick on camera. And Kendrick is one of the later artists that's coming into this.
There's certain artists that it can work for if they got those people have certain levels of teams. Shout out to Nick.
I was about to say,
but like, I mean, not. I don't have the same type of team that I had back then. Like that's been one of my one of my frustrations where it's trying to figure out how to recapture the energy
and mesh it all back
and
together.
mesh it all back together.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's kind of like a lot of what I've been doing has been by myself, just because I mean everybody's kind of been dealing with life. Like I've had Rob help me with some different things. I've had Rev help me with some different things.
Well, Rob is always available. I mean, yeah. Throw that out there.
Don't say that shit, because these fucking rappers start hitting my DMs. I'll be pissed. I am not always available at all to nobody.
Y'all. I just had to throw. He available just for me, and I only call him twice a week. I don't even call. I just inbox.
But
a lot of people have their own lives and different things that's going on. So I get frustrated a lot of different times when I look back at what I've done and I feel like it's not necessarily to the same standard of what it was as what it is now. But I mean, no, it's just right now I'm just trying to figure out like who's actually trying to do what and what we can bring together to make something happen.
So did you feel like you have not done enough? Is that what it is?
Oh no, I mean, I don't feel like I've done enough at all.
You don't?
No.
So you've been readily available to the local rapidy rap community for the past few years.
The rapidy rap.
I think I tweeted that the other day.
You've done some songs with people you shouldn't have. You've done songs with people that.
Who have I done songs with that I shouldn't have?
I'm sure there's quite a few.
We're gonna talk about that.
But in the 2 years since Versus, almost 3 years, you've still been active.
Yeah.
You know, there's been little shit here and there, and then earlier this year you dropped the joint project with T. Clark.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got to see this. Shout out to my brother Clark. We got some other things in the works that we've been planning.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, you gotta check it out. Stream that shit.
It's definitely
download
right
it,
now.
buy it.
Go get it on all streaming platforms. Me and Clark, we did a group project, and we're actually working quietly on another one. But this time it should be me
quietly done.
Me, him, and Rose.
Okay.
We've been quietly putting together some different songs and doing some different things.
Well, I don't like
Rose is, like I said earlier, that's like my little brother. That's actually Clark's nephew.
And I said Rob was
but he's been around us for a long time. Like if I had to categorize him, he's kind of like a good hybrid between.
He's a key part.
Me and Clark.
Okay.
That part.
So
yeah, I like Rose.
Yeah. He's still finding he's in that stage that I was in where it's like you finding your sound and trying to find your voice. But the stuff that he's been making has been like, I look at like, man, if I was making this type of stuff back then, like, yeah, it would have been a whole different story. So he's dope. But You Gotta See This was a project that me and Clark just did. We had fallen out right after we did Versus the Universe, because me and Clark weren't seeing eye to eye. And Clark is, if you know Clark, he's very opinionated in some ways, and and he wasn't feeling appreciated, I guess, in the whole process of making the music, and feeling like he wasn't getting his just due. And I thought I was doing enough at that point to keep the relationship cool, and we ended up bumping heads and falling out. And literally right after I finished the project, he got into an argument. We got into an argument. He writes me one morning and is like, yeah, I need like 500 for every beat that I made on Versus. And we're getting everything ready to put the project out. And
this is a real argument.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, let's get it.
And so he tells me that, I read the message, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I turn my chair around in my studio room, knock over a cup of water on my laptop that I recorded the whole project on. Luckily, I had backed up the whole project on my hard drive, so we still had that to work with, but my laptop was fried.
It was shot.
So me and him didn't talk for months.
and I'm quite sure you was mad at him for you knocking your cup over on your
Yeah, I
laptop.
was mad about that. Now you finna
Yeah,
out of nowhere
just
charge me
mad.
500,
Yeah, just
and
angry.
then the whole fucking up the laptop.
Mhm.
So we we didn't speak for a very long time, and people around us were trying to get us to reconcile the situation.
So how did y'all end up back together?
Just time. Like I forgot if he reached out. He reached out and said something. At that point in time, I don't think I was. I wouldn't. No, like he wrote me. He would write me a message or something. He wrote me a message or something. And then I don't think I was like really receptive to it in the beginning. And then talking to other people, then it was like, okay, like let's go talk about it.
What's your sign again?
Aries.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we finally got a chance to. I think I ended up responding and saying like, okay, if we gonna fix the situation, we need to sit down and talk. So I pulled up at his house and we had a whole conversation where it was kind of like we either gonna have a producer-artist relationship where we not friends. You make the beats, whatever you feel like. You want to get me, let me know what the price will be, send it to me. If I like it, then we'll buy it. Or we can continue the relationship we got where, okay, we actually are sitting there creating this sound together, doing all the
Yeah.
And so after that whole conversation, we kind of came to the realization like, okay, Clark is like 50-50 of, especially production wise, like what my sound is.
Okay.
We bounce ideas a lot. And so it was like, okay, he felt the same way. We sat down, we said, okay, we still want to continue it at like on some brother shit. And ever since then, like that turned into, okay, we're gonna make some songs. And then that turned into, well, we should make an EP. And originally it started off as like us doing maybe 3 or 4 songs. And then those 3 or 4 turned into what You Gotta See This is.
Okay.
And so that's how the project came about.
We definitely have projects.
So that was the last body of work.
That have officially been released. Well, body of work. Yeah, you've had a single since then that you released, Airplane Mode 2.
Yeah.
And there's been a couple questions in the thread that people have asked. I didn't bring it up yet because I knew it was further down in the conversation. Dope single, produced by Truancy.
Shout out to True. Shout out to Boogie.
And Boogie. Shout out to True and shout out to Boogie. They'll be here tomorrow. Tomorrow we're having a producer cook up.
I have what?
A producer cook up. Got 5 the 5 top producers in the area.
Interesting. I'm a top producer.
I'm a top producer.
But I thought y'all was having some family shit with some food and shit. I was like,
so
hungry
so
as
then
hell
we
right
you go ahead and release Airplane Mode 2. Where does fucking video, bro? Why isn't there a video? Who has the footage? Where do we get the footage? Like we got guns and shit. We got a bug. Like we want an Airplane Mode 2 video. And like I'm not gonna stop until I get one. Like I don't care. You could be 64 years old. I'm gonna come to your fucking house and I'm gonna be like, bro, where's the fucking video?
Where's that?
The video
It's in production.
No, it's not in production.
So it's ready?
It's just sitting on somebody's hard drive, sadly.
The
It's
footage,
just sitting there.
it's not gonna get done.
Why is it sitting there?
Why you so negative?
It's not gonna get done.
It could get done.
It's not.
Why you so
It could get
negative?
done.
It's not gonna get done.
Why you so negative?
It's not gonna get done
I'm
the way
just
that
asking. Why you so negative? He got
I'm
a
not.
reason for asking you that.
I'm not being negative. I'm actually being very positive about the
So where's
situation.
That's bullshit. I don't like it.
So where's the song?
The song is out. The video is just the footage is on a hard drive somewhere, and
You can't get it?
I've had it before. It just didn't get edited
Interesting.
for various reasons. So that video, I've chalked that video up as a
I
loss.
edited it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do to
We're
edit.
going to other videos.
I still want the video.
I'm already.
All the fans
want the
We're
video.
already planning other
I
videos.
kind of want to see it too.
I want it. There's a few people that want to see it, but
So you I know you got a lot of music in the stockpiled in the bunker, in my email inbox, and other various places.
all right.
like, what's the game plan? Are we gonna get is there a new album on the horizon? Are you working on one? Is the stuff that you have already going to be a new album? Are you even interested in releasing albums anymore due to the way that the industry has changed? Or are you gonna switch to EPs like most people do and some loosey singles here and there with some videos to help push them? Like what can we expect
From
G Scott in the future, music wise?
I'm planning a bunch of videos and singles. All the songs that I've kind of recorded over the past, well, what's that? In April, it'll be 3 years since I dropped a solo project.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of song drafts and different ideas, but I kind of narrowed that list down to ones that are more done.
Okay.
A couple that is more.
Yeah, like initially I had a longer list, but it just depends on the turnaround for mixing records.
Mhm.
So now I'm kind of like, okay, we just gonna break it up in quarters.
Okay.
I got my guy Jones. He's gonna be shooting some different visuals for me, and we're just gonna right now in the beginning.
I don't really fucking care about them until we get airplane mode 2. Like you can't have her like
I don't
like
airplane
what the fuck?
airplane mode 2 was like a test.
A test
Right.
and you fucking failed because there's no video.
Yep,
I mean
part.
that's fine.
So like
Need some visuals.
guess what?
That's fine. Well,
Some
what I'm saying
teachers
is,
give retests, so let's do the retest.
I don't want to reshoot it
Why not?
because I don't have. I had a vision for what I wanted it to be. I don't even have the same house anymore. Like
But
I had
they don't
what
stop making houses.
I know, I understand that.
You know
but
what
I'm saying is like I had a vision of what I wanted the video to be.
Okay.
We did certain stuff and paid for certain stuff, and
I'm gonna do a fan video.
Okay, go
And
ahead.
it's gonna involve taking you to fucking Miami and filming you get on the plane and flying there. The whole time I'm gonna film everything, and when I get back, I'm gonna put the fucking video, the
Pans
music
only.
behind it, and be like,
Pans only.
here's a fucking video.
That's what he did. Pans only.
Good luck.
Good luck.
You gonna say good?
That's some
Jeez,
bullshit.
God.
Listen,
Can I talk to you?
on to the next song.
On to the next
I just
song.
don't want you to feel that type of way. I mean, I'm feeling your spirit right now. It ain't moving right with me.
I mean,
As far as your product is
It's like, look,
concerned,
I'm G Scott and I'm back,
Yeah.
but
I'm
I just
doubting
dropped the
myself.
ball.
I dropped the ball. I'm doubting myself. Why are you doubting yourself?
He's not doubting himself.
it's not necessarily.
I'm just
doubting
giving him shit.
myself. It's just I'm.
So we gotta move on. We gotta fucking move
Yes.
on. Blah blah blah.
Let's go.
I'm not
Like I
moving on
said,
from shit.
airplane,
I'm petty.
Airplane mode.
I like to hold on to shit.
The whole airplane mode rollout was a test of different things, and I see what needs to be adjusted.
Did you make the adjustments?
Okay.
Still no video.
Like I said, I had to adjust some things. That don't mean I'm getting the video.
What are we not getting a video from next?
No, we're getting a video for everything else.
Okay.
The next song will be Heaven Can Wait.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm still stuck on what I just said.
I mean,
And it's how many of these loose singles we gonna get till we get again till, or you just gonna do it?
I'm just gonna drop loose singles. Like
So no beautiful.
no, Beautiful is still happening, but I restarted the album
Oh Jesus, fucking Christ!
because I listened back to listen.
Sometime in 2022, he's gonna tell us that he's not happy with the fucking 97 songs that he's recorded thus far, and we're just gonna get the third edition of him and T. Clark's project
The first
trilogy.
Okay,
That's exactly what's gonna happen. I
It's
know.
not
I
what's
already know.
gonna happen.
I already know.
It might happen, but the 60 to 70 songs that I got.
97.
It's not
It
97.
will be.
I know because I cut that playlist off.
Oh, okay.
So I started another one now.
Okay.
So
But the fact that you have that much material speaks volumes.
and from those songs, those are the songs I'm picking from to just drop loose singles.
Okay.
So that's the plan.
Okay. So
Shoot some videos for those
and then sometime
while I work on the album.
So you're officially working on the album now.
Yes.
You're in album mode.
Yeah, he worked.
Album mode.
Yes.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything beautiful.
So no airplane mode 2 video.
No.
Okay. Well, kids, we're not getting no Airplane Mode 2 video, and Santa's not fucking real.
Unless people want to magically attempt to edit it
He
and put it out,
said
but
it's not real.
People can't magically attempt to edit it if they don't magically have the footage.
I'm not talking about you.
Oh,
I'm talking about
you.
I'm talking about the people that shot it.
Okay. Maybe if you edit it, it'd be better.
You
can do it.
Tell these kids Santa is
You can do it.
real.
I'm not.
I'm done.
I'm gonna do it. You know, you ever see movies where people get kidnapped and shit? Like what's that movie where
You
fucking
finna
Damon
kidnap-
Wayans
you
played
finna
for the
kidnap the
Celtics and he
footage?
got kidnapped so they could lose the fucking game.
Oh,
Kidnapped until we get the fucking video.
yeah, that one.
No.
So you're done playing. You're done playing nice with the rappers. You're taking them. You
I'm
closed
going-
up shop.
Yeah, I'm like I said on. I think I tweeted that.
$1,000 features
I'm
for people really serious. $1,000 features.
I'm not doing any features.
Damn, no features, guys. If you're not in the inner circle, no features.
Can I get one?
$1,000 is not enough.
Please, Scott, can I get a feature?
We can talk about
Okay.
it. But I'm just the same way that I jumped into trying to reach out to everybody and all that other different stuff. Like
It's done.
Yeah, I'm exhausted from it.
Okay.
So,
See, I hope you learn your lesson.
yeah.
Fuck them kids.
Rob is so cold.
You've really gotten to the merch game. You
Yeah.
found your little niche and you're fucking recreating these classic designs to fit your brand, and it's working out very well.
Yeah, I'm trying to tie into a lot of what I do is inspired by like anime and comics and
Like-
video games and different stuff like that.
Like
So-
the hoodie you have on now, that's from the first run you did last year, right?
Actually, no, this hasn't even had a run yet.
No.
No.
That's just one spec one you've had yourself, huh?
I've got
You ain't
I've got
shit.
it. Listen, I got a bunch of designs that
I
I've
got a bunch of designs
got a
that
bunch-
he's never gonna put out, just like a bunch of fucking songs that you're never gonna hear, and a bunch of videos like Airplane Mode 2 you're never gonna fucking see because he don't give a fuck about us fans.
Airplane Mode 2 though. But the merch is definitely coming. Like,
Yeah,
I'm literally
okay.
nah.
I know it's
okay,
coming.
yeah.
Not fast enough.
You know, just that.
I'm doing a lot by myself right now.
I want one of those right now. I don't want to hear about doing a lot by yourself.
I mean, I'm doing a lot
So
by
you
myself.
don't have a team around
like,
you.
I want one of those right now.
that's-
No.
See, you should have one of those right now. It's not fair
You have
That-
a
that
team
This
you're-
is
around
why this is.
that
here.
you're just teasing
Next-
the masses.
I posted different pictures, and I'm glad that the new merch.
When's it
is,
coming?
I'm gonna say top of the year.
Top of the year? Okay, so
I'm
January
going to-
1st,
like top,
No,
like first
not
week of January top.
second week, January, third week, like
I have some plans with it
plans. What
based on some anniversaries.
anniversary? What anniversaries are we talking about?
It's probably Valentine's Day. That's it.
No.
No, that's not January though.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Probably the
He gonna-
anniversary of the first
he gonna
time
drop in January.
that he
You gonna
set a
drop.
metaphor on
No,
record.
we're
or
doing
some shit.
we're doing some different things with some project.
That
project
bad.
anniversaries.
He is
All right.
not gonna drop in January. Are you gonna drop?
I
in
just like giving him
January?
shit.
There may be something that's dropping in January.
See, there may be some. See,
I
that's not
like
accurate
fucking
answer.
with him. Like his contact name in my phone is Michael B. Jordan.
I thought it was Young Drew.
Because there was a period in his life where him and Michael B. Jordan very very identical looking.
This
I used to tag him in posts and congratulate him on his new movie roles and any award nominations that he received.
You got a lot of extra followers after that, didn't you?
I didn't get extra followers, but it was an increase in people that make
Yeah.
those jokes now.
That part.
So, but
Because it was an increase in
An
people.
increase, making the jokes.
so we got the Heaven Can't Wait new single and video coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
You're stockpiling songs that we're never gonna hear.
They're gonna be heard.
No, we're not gonna hear all of them. So you're stockpiling songs we're never gonna
They
hear.
might. Who knows? If I
See, you so secretive. That's
Well,
what's
see,
throwing me off.
I see.
He's so secretive. It
I-
might come out or it
'Cause I'm
might
sick of-
not.
I'm surprised.
I'm tired
I'm
of
very
saying-
surprised in myself that I haven't just started like leaking shit that he sent me.
Man,
I'm very surprised.
I'm surprised in you right now because why is it so much? Might.
because nothing's definitive.
Oh, here we go.
Like again, I'm doing a
Yeah.
lot of different things by myself. So
You have completed songs. That's definitive.
Yeah,
but I don't.
You have completed projects. That's definitive.
But I don't.
Now,
Yeah.
complete the songs. There are no. It's not project ready for him till he has them grouped in some
But you
type
gotta
of
understand,
cohesive format.
But by me listening to this interview tonight, he is his own worst critic.
Oh, he's a song hoarding, self-deprecating,
That's what I'm saying. But people on the outside, you might need to throw you a listening party.
talented alien.
That part. Throw a listening party to everybody that you don't think is gonna sound good too. That's meaning outside of your box. Ain't no raw bills.
That's why I've always told him he needs to
do that.
He needs somebody so he could just make the music and give the music to somebody to
push
to do it to do what they need to do with it.
To do what they need to do with it.
Not saying that I can't,
but
do
he
what
can't.
I need to do
he
with
can't because it's like crack. He's like he's not giving away his crack. That's his crack.
Okay, yeah.
You can't smoke his crack.
Nah, I want his
terrible
crack.
analogy.
I don't want no part of his
That's
crack.
an awesome analogy.
It is.
Hey, Clark's like, what the fuck is going on? All types of shit.
Whatever I can do.
It's been 3 hours. Sometimes, yeah.
I just told G Scott this was gonna go to 4 hours.
I gotta go to work in the morning.
We wrapping it up. We're to the song hoarding. We got his merch coming out soon.
Absolutely.
So
my new music coming soon. Clark got new music coming soon. Rose got new music coming soon.
Yeah.
We're all working as a unit right now.
Can you give me a tone with everybody? Because I don't know who everybody is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get you situated.
Thank you.
Shout out to everybody who's tuned in and bared with us for 3.5 hours. It still is an hour and 11 minutes short of our interview with The Edge.
That's fine with me.
But
I was so sleepy in that interview. I just started staring at the side of
I'm sure this isn't the first episode that G Scott will be on.
Absolutely.
But it's gonna be. He got a lot of things coming. To stay tuned. You could find him where at?
You can find me on all social media at G Scott King on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. All of it's the same.
So why that name?
Why
is that your name?
On IG?
I've always wanted to ask you that.
Have I ever told you that?
No, you haven't.
I haven't. Oh.
That's why I'm asking right now, motherfucker.
Okay, so in the beginning of me making social media like Twitter and all that, I wanted to find something that went with G Scott.
Okay.
And so at that point in time, I believe Gary's mayor was
Karen.
Scott King.
Oh, Scott King.
And so I was like, okay, let me play off of the mayor Gary, such. And then I just fused them together. So that's why the tag G Scott King, and it just kind of stuck.
G Scott King. I like that.
Okay.
I absolutely like that.
Okay. Not something I would have thought of, but whatever. That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's marketable.
So they go. You could go stream his 4 albums
on all social. I mean, all streaming platforms.
All social
platforms. All streaming platforms.
Yeah, try to go to Tidal. It pays them the most.
If you got Tidal, definitely stream it on Tidal. If you don't, wherever you listen to your music at, stream it. Show me some love so I can get some streaming money.
Keisha, where can we find you?
Y'all can find me on IG at Cautious, Kautiouz. I'm saying G because I'm on G Scott right now. But it's Kautiouz on IG, on Twitter, on Facebook. It's Keisha Kautiouz or the Ear Hustle Radio Show. All that. I'm hitting. Okay.
What days are you on?
Mondays and Wednesdays. I'm here on Fridays, though. I love the Fridays, y'all. I love the Fridays. I like my Monday and Wednesdays, but I love the Fridays. Rob, I do.
Hey, yeah. Hey, that's why I got you in here. You can find me at Villain Radio on most things. You can catch me Wednesdays with my co-host, Radical Leftist, or Radical Liberal Rich and White Devils, 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, on rawvillain.com. On Friday nights, you can usually find me here, Friday Night Live. There's usually a new guest every week. I'm going to kind of slow them down because there's I'm running out of people that I find interesting. So we're gonna go dark for a couple weeks into the new year, and then we're gonna come back with a couple people. I'm gonna have Elements MC. He got a project entirely produced by Drugs Beats that's coming out at the top of the year. He's a Hawk Life and a Villain Radio artist. And then we're gonna start putting out a bunch of shit that we've been recording here throughout the pandemic. You could also find me on Sunday nights with my Link Up Squad, Indie, Syndrome, and Trill on Sunday dinner. Where it gets crazy. This week's story time with Uncle Bobby will be just as funny as last week's. If you missed last week's, make sure you go to YouTube, search Villain Radio Network, like it, subscribe, whatever you do on YouTube, and watch last week's. It's about majestic titties and getting punched in the face during sex. It'll be an awesome story for you to listen to as you're wrapping Christmas presents.
I am now interested in going and finding that.
Exactly. Thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, thanks to G. Scott for coming through and telling his life story.
Absolutely.
We'll get to some other parts later. I definitely missed some stuff, but I'm not trying.
Yeah,
to
because there's a middle love that we didn't hear about yet.
And you're still only 24 minutes shy edge, so
yeah.
it's okay.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.